Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 177 for May the 26th, 2023. I am your host, Fraser, and I'm joined on my left by the other host, Neil.
Hello.
But there is nothing on the right. Sad face.
Conspicuous
Dave
by
is,
his absence.
yes, Dave is MIA. We don't know where he is, so hopefully
Assume he's
everything is
having a little snooze.
Yeah, hopefully everything's okay. If he turns up, he turns up. So it's just the two of us for now. Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Everything all right?
Yeah, you know.
All
Fucking
the same
knackered.
as what you just told me
Fucking
10 minutes
knackered.
ago.
Bit fat. Same old, same old. It's Friday.
Oh, at least it's Friday.
Yes.
I'm looking out right now. Everything is bloomed. There's lots of green. Well, blooming is the wrong word, but there's lots of green.
You've always got those
Trees.
green around your way, haven't you? These days?
No. Well, I
Since it's
mean,
been
like right
legalised.
now, like I can't see down my street now because the tree in front of the house is suddenly just got all leaves, right, which it didn't have last week.
Yes, I need to do a lot of weeding on my front garden / drive area. So it's gone a bit crazy.
We looked. I looked outside the other day. We have 3 birdhouses. I think the kids have made a couple of them that they made in beavers or cubs or whatever, brownies, and we put those up. But when my wife was also gifted this pretty fancy birdhouse, so I put that up a couple of years ago. So they've been up there, nothing's happened. But now in one of them, the gift of life.
Oh, have you got a little camera in there? Like sort
No,
of what do they call that?
I
Spring
I
watch
sort
or
of
something over here.
yeah. I sort of wish we did. As far as I can tell, I think we have a nesting. They're white-breasted nuthatches.
Wow.
Yeah, as far as I can
I have
tell.
no idea what that is.
It's just a
Other than
little
it might be a
bird.
bird.
It's a tiny little bird, grey and whites and whatever.
What did you call it again?
It's a white-breasted nuthatch.
Yeah, that sounds like it could be something else.
Do you know why they were? And do you know why they're called nuthatches?
I don't know if I want to know.
Because they have been known to wedge nuts and seeds in like crevices and then get at them that way.
They put them in there first.
So they
and
put
then
like wedge them in a crevice and then get at them. Right, they're quite powerful
to
hack away
them.
at them. Oh. Yeah, to hack away at them.
They get big nuts, and then they smash them. Do they?
Yep.
In between
That's
something.
Right. That's right. So we have the gift of life, as far as I can tell. The male seems to be. My wife said she's seen the female. I've seen the male coming back and forth. So
are they? Birds are weird, aren't they? Like the males are sort of more attractive usually. The birds.
The nuthatches don't look that different, actually, the males and the females. But yeah, some of them, of course, are. Peacocks, famously.
Birds are like the male bird tends to be more colourful than the female bird and stuff like that.
That's right.
They definitely. Have you ever watched pigeons doing the mating ritual?
No.
They do this stupid dance. They do this. Like, I get a lot of pigeons around it, and they're like the man pigeon. I think he does this weird thing where he like bows his head down on
Right.
some stupid little dance, and then the female's just like, "Fuck off, you dickhead."
It's funny you say that because I was looking up trying to because I don't get me wrong, I knew nothing about nuthatches before yesterday, right? It was only yesterday I decided to research them, and I found this thing. It was called Great Lakes Bird Bingo. Yeah, so I live in the Great Lakes region, and I was going through it, and one of the birds on the bingo thing is the pigeon, but we don't get any pigeons around here.
Do you really not? I thought they were ubiquitous. They're just everywhere.
They are. They are. There may be some. There are definitely some in parts of the town, I think. But pigeons, they're too easy, right? Round here, we have hawks and kestrels and stuff or whatever, right? They take care of the pigeons. Pigeons are just fast food, right?
I don't know. They're fucking. They're big birds. Pigeons.
They are, but I mean, I've seen pigeons getting taken in the cities by other. I've seen quite a few pigeons get taken, actually.
We've got some kites that fly around here. They look quite big. They're not, not huge by any means, but they're quite big. But most of the other birds, particularly crows and like magpies, they are after that thing. They just they're not scared. They just go after it because it's to get it away.
Get it away, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it eats. I just see it like it's one of them like birds of prey. Like it doesn't flap its wings. It just kind of glides in the thermals and stuff like that. All
Yeah,
around,
they like to sit in like one position, right? And
well, I
look.
don't know. It circles
Some of
mostly.
them
This
do.
thing does. Yeah.
You get some of the ones they just sit there flapping. They stay in one position. Like
I've never seen it strike anything. It's just like constantly like flying around. But I don't think I've even seen it flap its wings. It just kind of glides everywhere. It's mad.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh yeah.
Hello.
Here he is, Johnny come lately.
Sorry.
You had a little snooze, have you?
I wish. No. No. Very busy. Sorry.
No problem.
Lost track of the time.
That's all right, mate. At least you're here.
Yeah.
Good to see
Sorry.
you.
Where
That's
have
all right.
we
Take
got
it
to?
easy.
We've just been
Well, we're
talking about birds.
Yeah.
I've just lost my headphones.
Yeah. I was just saying we have a set of nesting nuthatches in our back garden, so which is pretty interesting. So rather than being the garden of death, which it has normally been, it's now the garden of life.
Oh, it's very nice.
So we're currently -2 skunks and.
Oh, you've
plus
murdered 2 skunks, have you?
Well, there was one skunk, but the dog got a skunk. You know that for sure.
Ugh.
That was the second one, and then at some point, I think a skunk crawled under our deck to die. Like there was a point where,
wasn't it?
Yeah, do you remember that? It was
Yeah,
ages. Yeah,
yeah.
When we pulled up the deck, then we found all the bones, the skeleton. Right,
It stopped smelling by then, obviously.
Yeah. Luckily, it had to be finally. I've been invaded by ants in the house the last couple of weeks.
In the house.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
They sort of come in and have a look around every year.
Near your back door, is it?
We're not exactly sure, but I mean, it's an old house, so they could be getting in anywhere, right? Who cares? And it's got the pest people coming some point in the next week. Maybe just
we're on quite a sandy area. Like that's all like a lot of sandstone and stuff where we are. So we have a lot of ants. They like sort of soft ground.
Yeah.
Better nests.
Yeah. I mean, usually I'm okay, but they're pissing me off a bit now. It's quite usually they really are. You know, you go down in the morning to make the tea, and there's 5 or 6 ants in the sink.
Oh, there you go. I just get like my raised beds are the home for some fucking giant ants.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't want to lie down in there and have a snooze.
No, because it's not very big. Anyway, I wouldn't fit in there. But yeah, do you get the flying variety there? Does that a thing over there? You just like every now and again, all of a sudden, there's fucking flying ants everywhere.
Yeah, there'll just be one period for about a couple of days or something like that. They'll be everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we do. We get that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Ants and birds.
Ants and birds. There we go. It's the nature cast.
All right. Let's crack on then. Let's do some footy then.
Okay, we can talk about footy this week. Let's talk about footy this week. I forgot to open my little blurb.
Is it really you don't like to talk about footy when I have a good week?
Well, it was a particularly good week last week. That was the problem, and not a very good week for me either. That was the problem. So I need to press a button on my thing. Hang on. I'm fucking all over the shop. Right, so I'm doing things a little bit differently this week. I'm just switching things up a little bit with my blurb because I'm going to talk about the point scorers while I talk about the football games as well. So we will kick off where things kicked off last weekend with Spurs being very Spursy in the first game of last weekend. They managed to lose 3-1 at home after leading through Harry Kane's record-breaking goal. He is the first player to score in 25 different games in the Premier League, apparently. And it was a nice goal. Someone laid off, was it Kulusevski, did a little roll back and he smashed it into the top corner from about 25 yards. Very nice. But Bryan Mbeumo, some people have him in their squads. Squads, I said, not teams.
Who?
Bryan Mbeumo of Brentford. He got 3 bonus points, but he wasn't in your 11, was he?
I needed Rashford to stay off, and then if Rashford hadn't played,
you needed 2 players to stay off, didn't you?
I already had Grealish. I had Grealish off. If Rashford hadn't played in that second game, Mbeumo, at least Rashford scored some points, so that was okay.
So yeah, Bryan Mbeumo took 3 bonus points, scored twice, and provided an assist. He might crop up later. So Man United then kept their Champions League qualification hopes alive, winning 1-0 away at Bournemouth, with Luke Shaw taking the 3 bonus points. Obviously got a clean sheet. Fulham and Crystal Palace played out a meaningless 2-2 draw with the recently returning Alexander Mitrovic. He'd been banned for 8 games. Got 2 goals and 3 bonus points.
Excuse me, sir.
What?
I put my hand up. I have a question.
Go on.
And when he doesn't like its flow being interrupted, does he? Excuse me, sir. How many bonus points? What's the dealio with the bonus points? Do they award them to just one person from the team, or
There's in each match, someone gets 3. There's 3, a 2, and a 1 for each match available. But it's based on loads of stats. I don't know all of them, like completed passes, big chances created, loads of stats. And then whoever gets the best BPS for the game will get 3. The second place player will get 2. And then the third place player get 1. If there's people on the same, obviously it will cut off the lower end. If you get, like, for example, 3 players get exactly the same, the highest score, they'll all get 3-point bonus points. Doesn't really happen though. But it quite often happens where someone will get 3 and 2 players will get 2, which means no one gets the 1. But...
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And you could also have like 1 on 3, 1 on 2, and then like 5 people get 1 bonus point. That doesn't really happen. But, multiple people could get the 1 bonus point.
Right.
But if more than 1 person gets 2, there is nobody getting the 1. Anyway. So, Mitrovic. Nearly put him in last week. I didn't. Liverpool scored late on through soon-to-be departed Roberto Firmino to draw 1-1 at home to Aston Villa, with Douglas Luiz getting an assist and the 3 bonus points, while Ollie Watkins missed a penalty. Yerry Mina scored for Everton in the 99th minute to keep Everton's survival hopes alive. What does that say? Just to equalise with Wolves. And their goal scorer Hwang took all 3 bonus points. Speaking of Premier League survival, Nottingham Forest beat former title hopefuls Arsenal 1-0 in the late game on Saturday. I don't know.
Shocking.
Someone might have predicted that in the Discord. I don't know who predicted that in the Discord.
Okay, let's just say it right away. I predicted the complete opposite. I thought Arsenal would come out with a point to prove, and they didn't.
I think they proved a point. They proved they weren't good enough to win the league.
Well, it's shocking behaviour. I didn't see the game, though, so I'm guessing Forest were knives out.
Well, Forest, obviously, desperate to win, desperate for points last week. And they got the 3 they needed to make sure they stayed in the Premier League. Taiwo Awoniyi scored again. That's 5 goals in 3 games for him. But defender Felipe of Forest took the 3 bonus points. On to Sunday, West Ham put Leeds deep in the doo-doo, beating them 3-1, with Jared Bowen scoring, assisting, and grabbing the 3 bonus points. Brighton then beat Southampton 3-1, with Evan Ferguson coming into the starting lineup and scoring twice to net the 3 bonus points. He was one of the other players I nearly put in. Man City switched things up squad-wise later on, but still beat Chelsea 1-0, with their second-choice goalkeeper Ortega making 6 saves on his way to taking the 3 bonus points. And on Monday night, Newcastle got the single point they needed to qualify for the Champions League next season when they drew 0-0 with Leicester, who are hanging by a thread to their Premier League status. Kieran Trippier took the 3 bonus points. Obviously got a clean sheet. That's what I've just done that bit. Wednesday night then saw champions Man City travel to Brighton, where we got to see an absolute belter of a goal from Julio Enciso for Brighton, who is the player I did put in. But it was Phil Foden who scored for City and took the 3 bonus points. That game finished 1-1. Which means Brighton are Europa League, and obviously City have already won the league. Erling Haaland did play, and he had a goal ruled out because he pulled someone's shirt before he scored. Tut tut. And then closing out the game week, Thursday night, saw Man United beat Chelsea 4-1. And guaranteed their Champions League.
Was that the result? I didn't even see this. I didn't even see the score.
Well, it's a good job you weren't watching, put it that way. Chelsea had their chances, but they're a bit shit, aren't they? So
they are.
Somehow, though, despite not appearing on the score sheet or assisting in any way, shape, or form, Lewis Hall managed to get 3 bonus points, and he's a Chelsea player. He was playing on the left of midfield. Fuck knows what he did. He did play quite well, but normally a player who gets the bonus points at least scores or assists, and he did none of those things, but did it enough to get 3 bonus points. I don't quite know how that works, but there we go. Right, so I'm only doing the top scorers on player points from now on. Obviously, it's the last week, well, it's second from last week.
Okay.
So, but 16 points was the top score, and that was 3 players got 16 points. Brian and Burma are fully mentioned. Stefan Ortega, also mentioned previously. He got 2 games to get his points, though. And Carlos Enrique Casemiro scored and assisted for Man United in their demolition of Chelsea, and he got 16 points as well last week. He's had a good season, Casemiro. So, top scorers on the week. I have taken off any hits for transfers before doing the top 3 scorers this week, which is something I'll hopefully do in future as well. So, the average score for last week was 52 points. So, if you did better than that, you hopefully went up in the leagues. But our top scorer on the week in our league was a certain Paul Davies. Got 74 points. The recently on form Luis Esteves got 71 points after his -4. He would have been the big top scorer without the -4. And then I came third with 69 points after I took a hit for -4 points. So our 3 of us were very close on the week. 75, 74, 73 technically. But with -4 points hits, I've suffered.
Was your 4-point hit worth it?
Versus what I had, it was definitely worth it. Yes, I gained a lot of points by taking the -4. Okay. So the top 3 going into the very final week is Paul Davies, 2,298. Me, 2,298. Joint first, but he's on top because I got less points last week, I think. And then Fraser Moore's in third.
Can you believe I'm in third?
2,256. Yes.
That's shocking.
You smashed it that last week. That was a ridiculous week.
Yeah, I've had a couple of good weeks of whatever. But
yeah, so most of the people in the league did okay last week, to be fair. Most people.
Yeah, it's going to be good to have a roundup. Anyway, best of luck to you, Neil, for next week. Best of luck to Paul as well. I shan't show any favoritism. But if Neil happens to win the cup, then I hope Paul wins the league. Sorry, that's it. Can't do the double.
That's rude.
Please don't do the double.
Well, it's me versus Nathan in the cup final.
Oh, Nathan, come on.
I put Christian out 69-45 and Nathan won 67-34.
Oh, how could you do that? The tricky tree's out at something.
Well, hopefully that's an omen for this weekend.
Yeah, so you've got a big weekend coming with the loots.
Yes. Didn't manage to get a ticket.
No.
My son was offered a ticket, but he's decided to stay at home with his dad to watch the game.
Oh, that's nice.
Just to mention, all the games this week for the Prem are all kicking off at 4:30 on Sunday, as is traditional on the last day of the season. So there's no extra fixtures or anything like that. Everyone plays at 4:30. So get your starting 11 sorted. Get your transfers done. Don't take a massive hit. You've got until 3:00 Sunday afternoon, so don't do anything early. I've got a plan. I've got a plan. Might go out the window. So,
is there anything on the line for the last game of the season for all of these teams? Is there any
in terms of left in the Premier League?
Left in might get relegated, might be able to get out of the relegation.
Andy Cox has shown up in the chat. It's been a while, giving it the fucking big one for Coventry City. Thanks, Andy.
Why? What have they done?
Well, we're playing in the playoffs.
Oh, right. Okay.
He works at Watford, What can I say?
Or is
and
the
he's a QPR fan though, so they definitely were in trouble big time earlier on in the season. It looked like they were going to go down, but they did survive.
Do you know what QPR and Watford have got in common?
I don't know.
I've fixed coffee machines at both those grounds.
Wow. Is that on Wikipedia?
And I think I've only ever fixed machines at 2 grounds, and that's those two.
That is impressive.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, looking at the league,
relegation. So Leicester, Leeds, and Everton can all 3 of them. Well, 2 of the 3 will go down. Obviously, 1 is already sorted with Southampton, so 2 of those 3 will go down. Everton, I think, need a win to stay up, guaranteed. If they draw, and Leeds and Leicester lose, obviously they'll stay up. Everton are in the safe seat at the moment, so yeah. And Leicester are playing. I can't remember now.
Yeah, but the top five are guaranteed.
Everything at the top end, I think, is sorted out now. I think the only thing that is potential.
Third.
Yeah, I don't think it matters really whether you're 3rd or 4th. Money wise, It's not a lot in it, and they've both qualified for Champions League. It's the Europa Conference League places up for grabs, which is the one that no one wants to be in apparently. So Aston Villa, Spurs, and Brentford are all competing for that place. But yeah, the big thing to be decided is who stays up out of the 3.
I mean, Everton, it's not. They could be in trouble if they lose. They could be in big trouble, right?
Everton are at home to Bournemouth, I think. Cool. Who's it? Leeds are at home to Spurs. So Leeds will probably win, but Spurs will probably score. Harry Kane's guaranteed to score because he scores at every last game of the season. He scores every week, every time.
Okay.
And he's had a phenomenal season, despite no one talking about him really.
And who are Everton playing again?
Everton are at home to Bournemouth. Leeds are at home to Tottenham, and Leicester are at home to West Ham.
West Ham go any way on all of those.
West Ham have got their European final to play, so. Andy says, who of those 3 do we want to go down?
Leeds for sure.
Can all 3 of them go down?
Southampton. I mean, just
Southampton
Leeds.
Are done. So.
Leeds,
Leicester, or Everton.
Leicester, I'd like to stay up. I have a soft spot for Leicester, having gone to university there.
I don't know.
But Southampton. I mean, Southampton's an okay team. Leeds. I've never been a massive fan of Leeds.
Yeah, I don't like Leeds.
Everton are okay, I guess. I'm not really. I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't. I'm not.
I've got no skin in the game anyway. There, to be honest.
No, neither have I. Really, it doesn't really bother me.
I don't know. From a purely footballing perspective, I think Leicester probably be the best one to stay up. Because the rest, like Everton, I tell you what, I don't actually like Jordan Pickford. He's England's goalkeeper, right? And the few times in the last month or 2, I have watched games with him in, and wondered how he's got away with absolutely blatantly fouling someone in the penalty area, and then it's been VAR reviewed and everything, and nothing has happened. I watched one game, he charged out. I don't know what happened. He missed the ball or whatever. And he turns round and he literally just ran straight at someone else of the opposition. He wasn't looking anywhere else, just looked straight at this player and just ran straight at them and just walloped them over. And nothing was given. I was like, how is that not a fucking penalty? He's just totally ran straight at him and taken him out. And the other week he did something else. It was just like, that's a penalty. I don't understand how that's not a penalty. We've got VAR, but apparently it's not a penalty. I was like, that's a fucking penalty every day.
I guess he's untouchable.
Apparently so. So yeah, fuck it. Everton can go down, for sure.
Okay. Okay, all right. Is that football then done?
Yes.
All right, good luck tomorrow, Neil. Oh, is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow, 4:45 is kickoff. I'll be sweating.
All right, good luck. Okay, let's move on to the listener stuff. Friend of the show, Column said, "Oh, this is the show.
This is the stuff where I asked about the PlayStation showcase stuff. That's the
all right. Do we want to Do we want to do that after we just do standard questions?
Up to you.
Okay, I think we should. Okay. Christian says, happy Friday, boys. Just dropping by to wish Neil and his Loots luck for the playoff final. Really hope you do it, mate.
I'm not doing anything, to be honest. I'm just going to watch.
It's all, yeah. Well, they'll be feeling your energy through the ether.
Yeah.
Christian says, I've got to agree with Fraser, though. Once you hit the lead, just marry up with second place and coast to the finish line. Now is not the time to take point hits and look for differentials.
I would have been a lot further behind if I hadn't taken my hit. I can assure you of that. Yeah, I took out Grealish, who got 0 points.
Yeah.
And I took out Diego Jota, who got 1 point. I took a -4, so you can call that 5 points I've lost. But I gained. I'm going to put in Bruno Fernandes and I put in Julio Enciso. So I think it was like 19 points or something stupid, or 15 points. Nice. So it was definitely a big plus.
Fair play, mate. Fair play.
So you're talking bollocks, Christian, is what I'm saying.
He says, I'm really looking forward to next season's Fantasy Premier League. You've ran it superbly, Neil. Here. I agree. I think we've created a monster because these Americans are going to be a problem, especially now Guar has gone all scientific with the stats. At least they're all in the cult of Forest now. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend.
I certainly hope I have a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, I mean it's been a really cool thing that we've done. It's been and Neil's done a sterling job with it. I didn't
really do a lot, really. I talk about it every week.
I think it's a good section that you do and stuff. It's cool. It's good. It's really cool.
I didn't know if we should spin it off and just have like a special FPL pod bit rather than.
What do you mean? Like another?
Well, I don't know. Some people aren't into the football, so maybe we could just cut it into 2. I don't know. But
well, I see the numbers, and I can tell you it hasn't hurt. So something's right. So it's good. Thanks, Christian. Good to hear from you. Yes, correct. The Americans. It's good to have them on board too. Yes. Guar has I think Guar, like if he hadn't made that mishap on that one weekend where I scored like 120 something, he would have scored probably a clip. We've been very, very similar in every week. I think he would be up there right now in that top 5 spot. But yeah, it's been good fun with the Americans on board. Anyone else? We'll have a chat actually at some point about what to do for next season. But just keep listening.
More the merrier, as far as I'm concerned, for next season.
I think more the merrier. The only thing I've been thinking about is I want to make sure that people who are in the league are people who should be in the league, like who interact with the league. Yeah. Like we've got, and it always happens with fantasy football. Like it's no people get send the link out to people and other people join and then nothing happens. And I mean, if we hadn't been on Dave's back, he'd be a dead team sitting in there. So we'll talk about.
And I'm still at the bottom, but at least I'm active.
Exactly. We're gonna get you next year. We're waiting for exciting things next year. Yeah. But yeah, watch this space anyway. We'll have more on that later. Mark, friend of the show, says, this is Mark MS Rangers, Evening Seals, let's go. And here are his questions. Why is it said that you have a cold when your temperature rises? Dave?
I don't know.
I assumed this is what you were doing when you weren't at the show on time. Was researching.
Well, I was researching all these questions. No.
I assume it's because you feel cold when you have a cold.
Yeah, I mean, let's face facts, right? There's a number of things going on when you have a cold, aside from just your temperature rising, right?
You get the shakes and stuff, don't you? Feel a bit chilly.
Yeah, you get shivers, yeah. Nose is running, maybe symptoms of being cold, but...
Yeah. Having caught it from being cold.
You don't know, that's bollocks. That's bollocks, Fraser. Yeah. You don't get a cold from just being cold. It is a virus.
I know. All right. Okay. Why don't your arms' hairs get split ends?
They fall out before.
I guess you don't comb them as much.
Yeah. It depends how much you brush them.
You put loads of gel on them. and stuff.
Yeah.
Mine are quite fair and very practically invisible anyway. So,
but I think split ends, and I don't get split ends, right? I think
well,
split ends are
normal head hair.
Yeah,
I think it happens when you have long hair, doesn't it?
right. The hair is so long and been
So Dave's obviously got loads.
Been around for so long that it started to dry out and crack or whatever, right? Isn't that what it's all about?
So split ends is just when your hair's damaged. When I've had really long hair and never had split ends, but I don't
use styling
blow dry my hair. No, I don't. No, I don't blow dry my hair. I don't put it through the
don't wash it. Apparently, you're not supposed to wash your hair. To be honest, if you leave your hair in long enough, it will just sorts itself out. Apparently,
but
it doesn't look greasy or anything.
There is a really bad point between.
Yes, exactly. You have to get through you have to have about 6 months off of seeing anybody, but once you've gone through that horrible 6 months, your hair's fine again.
Brilliant! It's well worth it. How can something be new and improved? What did it improve on if it was new?
I think that's the whole point of commercialism, isn't it? Everything's new and improved. They're always trying to sell you a better product. It's like for somehow washing powder has been new and improved formula like every year for like the last 60, 70, 80
what they've
years.
done now is instead of making it better, they just make it smaller and cost more
and more colourful.
Well, they add more. What's it called? It's like a luminescence. They're adding like brighter chemicals to it.
They are literally storing light in a bottle now.
Well, they're doing something, improving it. But yeah, it's new and improved.
All right. Okay. He says thank you and good night. Thanks, Mark. It's good to hear from you.
Mark.
Actually, just to oh no, I'll come on to this in a minute. I got something I think that's slightly.
You missed Master Blackthorn there.
But Master Blackthorn there, his first part is
yeah.
Okay, well, he's got his first part. I think.
So where are we doing this? Are we leaving the quiz till last? Or are we doing the quiz now?
Let's just do the quiz now. Let's crack on through. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Neil says it's okay. Lord, friend of the show, says evening and quick quiz tonight. So here we go. To a single decimal point. How many kilometers are there in a mile?
1.6.
I think it's.
I was going to say, yeah, it's about that because
it's 1,609 point something meters.
I thought it was 2.2 kilometers to the mile.
No, it's 2.2 pounds to a kilogram.
Oh.
I know it's 8 kilometers to 5 miles. So if I get roughly, hang on, calc. 8 divided by 5, 1.6. Yeah.
All right. Typically, what 4 ingredients go into a cosmopolitan cocktail?
I think I know 2, for sure.
Okay. I defer this to my learned colleagues.
It's a vodka and a cranberry juice. Are 2 of them.
Sadness and regret. I don't know. Is it orange?
It might be orange juice. No, well, it's kind of reddy orange, yeah. It might be orange juice and cranberry juice. Vodka and...
And one more, come on.
Fucking white martini. Something disgusting.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone going to argue with that?
Bianco or something.
Dubonnet. And where in the world would you find the Spanish Steps?
Do you know this?
I know.
I've got 2 places in my head, and I'm like, now I'm doubting myself. I'm pretty sure I know it.
For some reason, I keep thinking Russia.
That's not one of the places.
I've got.
I know it's definitely. I know it's definitely. Oh, I know it. I know it is. It's Rome. It's Rome. It's not because I was like, it's Madrid, but I know it's not in Spain. Is what I knew. So it's Rome.
Okay. All right. Who's got answers for us then?
We just did the answers.
Right. Yeah, it's gone now. That's fine.
I can see them here.
Are you doing it?
I don't know where they are actually.
Fine. Fuck.
Have you put new Discord channels in here?
I've put one extra Discord channel in here, which will get the episode's audio posted to. Anyway. To a single decimal point, how many kilometres in a mile? It is 1.6.
Dave used a quick calculator though, so
that's cheating. So I knew that. I said it already. I said it already before he said that. Typically,
there was no calculators allowed in this.
This is a mental arithmetic test. What four ingredients?
Why do you know that?
Why do I know that? Because I just know that.
Right.
Because I know that 1,500 meters is an athletics event. It's not long enough. It's not a mile. And I don't know why. I just know that 1.609 kilometers is a mile or something like that. I don't know. I just do. Anyway, what four ingredients into a Cosmo is, it's lime juice, vodka, cranberry juice, and then it's triple select / Cointreau / orange liqueur.
Oh.
So it is orange, but not juice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a couple of.
Because triple sec is orange, obviously. I don't know if you know that. Where in the world would you find the Spanish Steps? The answer is Rome, Italy, of course. Yeah.
Well done, Neil. Neil, king of the quiz this week.
Thanks, Lord.
All right.
Thanks for giving me some questions I actually knew most of the answers to.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Lord. Okay, let's move up then to. I suppose I should just hand the reins over to you, Neil, for this, or Dave, whoever was on top of this PlayStation showcase. It certainly wasn't me.
Right. Well, I couldn't sleep Wednesday night into Thursday. No, it wasn't anything to do with that. It's fact, like, I tried to go to bed, but about 3 o'clock in the morning, I was like, "Fuck this! I'm just going to get up." And so I watched the PlayStation showcase that had happened on Wednesday night. And then I asked people on the Twitters and the Discords what people thought as well. So it was about an hour, just over an hour. And they showed a load of games. And I say a load of games. They did show a load of games. But most of the games were not just PlayStation games. I think there was... The first game was an exclusive. Fair game, $, whatever that means. That was a weird PvPvE heist game. Didn't seem to get much buzz. Helldivers 2 was up next, and that was a console exclusive, but it's coming to PC.
Helldivers, what was that about?
I spoke about this a few weeks ago because I played the first one on my PlayStation with my son. It's a co-op. The original was like a top-down co-op twin sticky shooter type thing, and the new one is now a third-person game. Same vibe. It's very Starship Troopers. Like the enemies look like the beasties in Starship Troopers and stuff like that. They're all bug type.
Oh
yeah. So it was fun. It's got that funny vibe to it as well. And then there was loads of other games, but there was a one called Foam Stars, which is supposedly exclusive, which is like Square Enix Splatoon, and it looked shite.
It looked like, it did look like a real bad,
really
copy of,
It was just the lamest rip-off you've ever seen. Final Fantasy 16 is a PlayStation exclusive. It'll probably come to PC, obviously, within 6 months, but it is exclusive as exclusive goes. And then, other than that, I think it was only Spider-Man 2, which obviously will come to PC a year or two later. Other than that, they're all multi-platform games. Loads of them. So, and loads of CGI trailers. So the general vibe I got from looking around the internet was they pulled a bit of an Xbox. But so we did have some feedback from people who I asked. Colin said it was okay. Wasn't impressed with that queue streaming from your PS5 thing. So they announced a device. A handheld PlayStation device.
Who had a prediction on handhelds?
Dave and Fraser both had predictions on handhelds. But yes, as Baron says in the chat, a PS5U. It was like a Wii U gamepad because you need a PS5 with the games installed on it. So it's just, and it only works in your house, it would appear, or wherever your PS5 is over Wi-Fi.
Lame.
So what the fuck is the point of that? I don't understand. So if you could stream over 5G as well as Wi-Fi, it might be useful, I guess. But that probably would be shite anyway. So seems pointless. Any thoughts? Did you see?
No.
Did you think anything? No.
I saw the concept art of it.
It looks like it would just fucking break within 5 minutes as well, because they basically just got a DualSense controller, cut it in half. Well, not quite half, because they've cut the middle bit out where the touchpad is, and just stuck a fucking tablet in between. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I was like, what the hell? The design department had a day off there. It's like as Tears of the Kingdom Ultra Hand bodged it together. It's one of the things I saw.
I do wonder if they'd done any sort of like Q&A or like testing or like product design.
Someone did some design. Yes, it's like I say, they went, this DualSense is quite nice. I just wedged a tablet in between where the touchscreen's supposed to be. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Odd. Oh, they did announce some earbuds as well.
That they actually.
I mean, they'll work with other things because they're just going to be Bluetooth earbuds. But the thing with like PS5 has got Bluetooth built in, but it doesn't just let you pair any old pair of Bluetooth headphones to use with it, which is quite annoying.
No, because it's proprietary. Bluetooth.
It's just Bluetooth. It's just Bluetooth. It's not proprietary. They just block every other fucking third-party Bluetooth headset.
They use a proprietary codec or handshaking. So
they just go, no, that's not made by Sony. I'm not going to use that.
But the actual buds themselves, I had a look at the spec, and they if
you don't mind walking around with something that says PS on the side of your head.
Oh, for God's sake.
They're quite big.
Yeah. But I think they've got a lot of technology in them. So.
Bluetooth.
But it depends on the price point. If they're
if they're like 200 quid.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we'll talk about that later. So then, Master Blackthorn also answered that he liked the look of Dragon's Dogma 2, and he loved the first game. There's a follow-up question to that as well later, I think. That's all. Oh, maybe Phantom Blade. I think it was Phantom Blade 0, technically. That was like I don't know. It was like Sekiro / Metal Gear Rising Revengeance type slashing around combat. Loads of people spewing blood when they get murdered. That did look quite cool. There was a few games that looked cool, but nothing exclusive really to get excited about. And there were some games that they might as well just not have bothered with. And then literally a day later, they've announced another fucking game. I was like, why was this not in your fucking showcase? But there we go. He also says he wasn't interested in anything else. Other stuff like Spider-Man or Final Fantasy, I'll wait until they are cheap games for him. Blue Point being absent means they must be working on something big. Demon's Souls came out at launch. Will be 3 years this November. Maybe they are working on Bloodborne remake.
They'd be mad not to, right?
I don't understand how they didn't. Like, everyone expected Bloodborne of some description to be in this showcase. This is instead of E3. This is like the big thing they would have done at E3. And that's why most people were like, wow, that was pretty underwhelming. There was they'd showed 10 minutes of Spider-Man 2. Yeah, no Naughty Dog, no Santa Monica, no Sony Bend, none of their first parties other than Insomniac with Spider-Man 2. Where's that Wolverine game and all that sort of stuff? There's nothing, absolutely nothing. There were some cool looking games, and there was a Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater remake.
What was that about? Oh, that's the Snake Eater.
I think
that was rumored, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, most of it was known, like I'd say. I think that was the thing. There was no big surprises. It was all a bit like, right. But there are some cool looking games in there, and the Gran Turismo movie, apparently.
Yeah.
I think that was it from feedback. So yeah, it didn't go down that well by the sound of it.
Oh. Oh well.
What did you think, Neil?
Well, like I say, I watched it and I was like, there was a couple of games that did look very cool. Some of the like Talos Principle 2 was in there. That was a cool game. The first one, that's going to be cool. Probably the second one, but that will be on everything. There was one called The Plucky Squire that looked pretty cool. It's like an indie game thing, but like, is it like Paper Mario? It switched between 2D and 3D. So like it was looking like it was literally like a book, and like you're playing in a 2D plane, and then you pop out of the book and go travel around the 3D environment.
Yeah,
that did look cool, but that's on everything. Just looking down the list, I can't think. I'm not a Five Nights at Freddy's fan. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma. You played the first one, Dave. You like that, didn't you?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, quite dense. There's a lot of it. It's always one of those games I really want to go back to, but I've played it like 3 or 4 times, and just there's a level of difficulty that I just haven't got over on it. I appreciate what it is, but yeah, I need to really sit down and work at it. But I saw the number 2. It looks really interesting.
What's that? Helldivers. Oh, Dragon's Dogma. You talking about Dragon's Dogma 2? Yeah.
Dragon Dogma. Yeah.
Yeah, that did look cool. Like Helldivers, I liked the vibe. I didn't play loads of the first one, but I'm interested about the second one because that was fun, and if it could be a good laugh for a few people, because like I say, the friendly fire was on in the first game, and that was at the point of much hilarity. And if it's in third person and just looks loads nicer, that could be quite cool.
Resident Evil 4
in VR.
Any interested?
Not going to be playing VR. It'll be on. So there was a few VR games. Beat Saber, Queen Music Pack, which is coming to everything, obviously. Bungie did announce their Marathon. Well, it's not a remake or anything. It's a new game called Marathon. It's a PvPvE, I believe. So that could be interesting, but a lot of people were crying about it because it wasn't a single player game. A certain character from Destiny 2 made an appearance. A certain character that died is back, apparently, next year. The big launch will be, the big reveal will be in August, because obviously it will come out in September, I guess, the next one. The final shape. But yeah, Cayde 6, who infamously died in the Forsaken campaign. Sorry if you've not played that, but it's been fucking well.
Spoiler.
He's back, apparently. I don't know how. No, they didn't reveal how. It was talking to what's her face? For some reason, I can't remember her name at the moment. The Warlock Vanguard woman. Oh my god! I don't know why I can't remember her name. Obviously, I only played a couple of 1,000 hours of the game, but I can't actually remember the character.
Lisa.
It's not that.
Debbie.
That's it.
Pass the mustard, Debbie.
Oh my god. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So that'll be interesting to see what they do with that. I'll be interested to see what they do, because I think this is the last Destiny 2.
The last Destiny 2.
Until they decide to do another one, obviously. But yeah, overall, a bit lame.
All right.
So Xbox is coming up in a couple of weeks, I think. And then I don't know what anyone else is doing. There'll be a few other bits and pieces over the next few weeks. But yeah, pretty underwhelming, I'm afraid.
Okay.
I don't really. I like it when they do it all in the same time. When
it's an E3, you mean?
Was an E3 or like the year or two after E3, where like Sony, Nintendo, and Xbox basically did it like a day apart, not like all this stretched out. Like,
I can't see it changing though. Like unless you're committed to some sort of
unless they actually start making some games.
Well, unless they're committed to some sort of show structure, then there's no, they can do it whenever they want, right? Yeah. I mean, they don't have to be beholden to anyone. So,
no.
Okay, all right. Let's move on from Sony then and go on to what we've been doing. Yes.
There was a question from Master Black Forum you forgot about. We did mention about. Yeah. He said, "Did any of us play the first Dragon's Dogma?" Which obviously it's only Dave that's played that. And he says, "And if so, how brilliant did you think it was?" So obviously he rated it quite highly. Because it was, by the way, he says. And did you like the look of the sequel in the showcase? I thought it looked a lot like the first one, to be honest. A bit nicer. But I haven't played it, so I don't really know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a pretty old game now to go back to play the pretty old graphics. But yeah, I like the look of it.
And he also says, beans or spaghetti on cheese on toast? There's only one answer there, I'm afraid. You don't have spaghetti on cheese on toast. That's just wrong.
I absolutely detest spaghetti from a can.
Tinned spaghetti. Tinned spaghetti in tomato sauce.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
What about tinned spaghetti bolognese? How do you feel about that?
No.
Or tinned macaroni cheese?
Moved on from there.
If I used to have the
Dave loves the tinned burgers, so you know.
No. The tinned macaroni cheese.
What about those tins of breakfast that you can get with like?
Oh, stop! I know my daughter the other day. My wife buys pasta sauce in a jar and uses it occasionally.
Well, like Dolmio. What we have
something like that, or whatever
right.
generic one is from the supermarket. Yeah. Anyway, I was cooking some pasta the other day, and my daughter said, "Why don't you use that pasta sauce?" And I said, "Look, I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't like it. Right? It just reminds me of ragu, which reminds me of my poor student days when I ate ragu like it was going out of style. Right?
Do you mean ragu in a jar, not ragu that you made for yourself?
No, ragu in a jar. Yeah, well, of course, ragu in a jar.
Well, that's basically what Dolmio is. Isn't it? That's not.
Yeah, same sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, it was just that thing at university. It's just like, okay, I need to learn to cook. Oh, somebody showed me that you could just get like ragu and throw it on some pasta, and you're like, oh, I know how to cook pasta. Then you eat it every day for like 6 months. No, not anymore.
So yeah, but do you do like make your own ragu then?
Yeah, I always make everything from scratch. Pretty much, I go out and I slaughter the beef. Slaughter the cow for the beef. No, but beans.
You harvest the pizzas from Domino's.
That's right. But I'm very particular about my beans on toast, and I like toast, and then grated mature cheddar cheese on top of the toast. Not toasted though; just put the cheese on, grated on, and then the beans on the top of it.
Hot beans on top. Okay,
oh my god, my mouth's watering just thinking about that. And then a dollop of mayonnaise on the top of it all.
What the fuck?
What?
If you've never put a spoonful of mayonnaise in your baked beans, you haven't lived.
That is wrong. That is totally wrong.
It's not. It's one of those absolute. Seriously, go away, try it, report back.
I had a cheese and tomato sandwich when I didn't put butter in, but I put mayonnaise in. That was nice. Putting mayonnaise with beans, though, that's wrong.
Mate, you don't know. Don't knock it till you tried it.
Well, I guess, but that sounds rank.
You might surprise. It'd be like a bidet. All right.
Probably tastes like something you blast off of a bidet.
You probably think it's bad, but it's actually brilliant.
So I like if I'm particularly lazy, I literally just have toast, bit of olive spread, beans, and then I put a little bit of Branston
olive
pickle
spread
with it. Yeah, I can't have butter, so like
and he doesn't eat cheese.
I don't eat cheese. So yeah, a bit of Branston pickle. That's nice.
All right. Interesting.
With beans.
But
you're all freaks.
I know.
What the fuck are you all talking about?
If
you gotta live a little, Neil.
If I'm spending a bit more time, I'll cut up some onions, and put a bit of chili powder, a bit of garlic powder, and like toast off some what's it called, cumin seeds, and then cook the beans in that. It's a really nice, spicy.
It's curried beans.
Yeah, basically curried beans. Yeah. But like,
right. Well, I think we need to move on because it's all getting far too fucking weird. It was bad enough when Mark said that he liked chili beans. Like chili beans, I can deal with. But he said Vegemite. Then he went on to say Vegemite. That's just fucking. Marmite, yes. Vegemite, no.
No, my missus likes a bit of Marmite, but I can't stand the stuff.
Marmite's good. Vegemite is fucking disgusting. I don't know what it is. It's rank.
All right. Neil doesn't like anything. I think we're figuring out here.
I like Marmite. I just said I like Marmite.
Do you like spaghetti? Do you like spaghetti from a can?
No, that's wrong.
All right, okay.
Beans?
All right.
Yes.
You're allowed to stay on the podcast.
Beans and sausage is mine. Well, I think. I don't not with cheese though. Or mayonnaise.
Proper good sausages though, not
no.
Like...
Well, no, I have like the ones from a tin. They're good.
The tin sausage.
Oh no!
But we don't buy the Heinz ones because they are weird. Because they're like, I don't know what they're like. They have no skin on the sausages, so they look a bit weird. But like the Tesco ones have they look like little cocktail sausages that they put in there, so they look like sausages. But...
Oh, okay.
I can't believe he's calling us weird.
Yeah, I know. Double standards.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to what we've been doing. Sorry, Mark. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate that. Neil, do you want to start?
Yeah. So after all the Starship Troopers video game chat last week, I couldn't sleep and watched the Virkin film.
Have you not seen it before?
I have seen it before, and my memory of it was mega cheesy and not that good, and my memory was wrong. It was actually pretty good. I was like, this is not as shit as I remember it being.
No.
The acting is not horrendous like I thought it was. And
it knows what it is.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
The thing, right?
It's funny. And it wasn't... it's the guy who made Robocop, isn't it? Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah.
So, I didn't realise that. But, I don't think it was a satire like I maybe asked the question last week, though. I think it was just a dumb movie. But, yeah, maybe there is more to it. I'm just too thick to think, but I was just like, yeah, it's quite good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Good shower scene, too.
Yeah. Yeah. You like all them buff dudes.
Take any buff body.
So yeah, Starship Troopers, not as shit as I thought it was.
Interesting.
What is as shit as I thought it was is Twitter.
Yes.
So
we could see this happening like 2 years ago.
They're now basically, obviously, there's the whole blue tick bullshit, which I'm not that bothered about. That has not upset me. But we were using some third-party programs, whatever, applications to automatically post things when we do things. And now, in their infinite wisdom, under the new management, they have decided to charge a fucking shitload of money for people to access all of this stuff. So all of these other third-party companies have had to put all that stuff behind paywalls, which I'm not prepared to pay for. No. So we don't have access to a load of the stuff we used to have now. And through
I had some stuff up through If This Then That.
Yeah, exactly. That's one now. If you pay If This Then That, you can access all the Twitter stuff. But it's like it's not worth it just for that. So yeah, fucking Twitter.
Are they cutting their nose off despite their face?
I think so.
That?
It feels like it. Feels like they're just like forcing people to go find an alternative. That's what everyone seems to be doing.
Or then going, like, what value is this adding? Like, setting it up, there's a bit of time, like, investment, and then that was it. And, like, the fact that so many people were just, like, not paying, the whole service is going to not be so good.
I think,
because of it.
Like, these services require users to become profitable. And if you piss off all your users so that they leave, doesn't matter how much you charge the ones remaining, you are not going to make any fucking money. So we are the product. We are the product.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a free to use service, you are the product. Blah blah blah. You harvest your data, whatever, and that's how you make money. You advertise cleverly to people. You've got fucking tons of data on them. You should be able to provide them with good adverts they might click on. And then advertisers pay you loads of money instead of trying to get your users to pay you a quite frankly ridiculous amount of money for not a lot. Even though it's only $8, it's like, yeah, but I didn't have to pay fuck all before. So it's a lot more than I was paying. Yeah, I think it seems like it's massively going down the shitter. I mean, it's still got millions and millions of people on there, but that's more habit than anything else, I'd say. And if a viable alternative does appear, I think everyone will just jump ship massively quickly. Like, there's still a lot of stuff that it can be useful for, I guess. And like I say, it's like it's just because everyone's on there is the only reason anyone's on there.
Yeah.
And once
I'm
everyone
surprised
off,
there's no big startup or
what's his name? The
established.
guy who started Twitter has started this Blue Sky thing, which is the new Twitter, basically.
Right.
It's going to be exactly the same, basically, but not run by a twat. So, well, he might be a twat as well, to be fair, but not one that wants to charge you money to just do fuck all. Like, charge you money for nothing is what it seems to be at the moment. So, yeah. So, obviously, I'm trying to find ways of doing things, but we probably just won't be. The only thing we won't be doing, I don't think, in future is automatically posting a YouTube video update to Twitter. So if you're not following us on YouTube and you do watch the YouTube videos, make sure you fucking like and subscribe or whatever. But because it won't appear on Twitter. It's on the Discord. Join the Discord. We get a bit more traction through the Discord these days now. So people interacting with us and getting stuff for the show and all that stuff. So if you like it, what we're doing, get on it, get involved. And then I bought some AirPods.
That was going to happen, wasn't it? We all knew it.
Did we talk about it on the show last week? I don't know. We definitely talked about it. It was on the show. I can't remember.
It was ridiculously expensive, yeah.
Yeah. So 220 quid.
You not got them in?
No, I've got them. There we are.
Are they everything you dreamed of?
They do sound pretty fucking good, I have to say. I got the Pro AirPods, 2nd gen or whatever.
Final cost?
224 plus the travel to get them.
Oh, beautiful. How much travel was it again?
Well, I went to Milton Keynes to pick them up. I could have had them delivered for free tomorrow.
Oh.
I was like, fuck it, I'll go and get them.
Couldn't wait.
Just go and get them.
So you went and burned half a dinosaur to go get them.
Yeah. It wasn't half a dinosaur.
Have you not got a little chain to put them around your neck in case they fall out?
No, they don't fall out. That's the good thing. They're the Pros. They've got like little, and like they do some cool stuff. They do. I haven't pointed a camera at my ears yet because you can do that apparently to get spatial audio or whatever. I was like, I ain't fucking doing that. But the noise cancelling / letting the audio in is really fucking clever. Like
ANC, I think it's called.
Yeah. So the automatic, whatever it is, you can put it on noise cancelling, and then like they've got the buds, so it blocks out a lot anyway. Like the little sort of silicone bits, the tips. So that blocks a load out, but they've also got like active noise cancelling, and that's like you can't hear a fucking thing other than what you're listening to. But they have the alternative mode, which is lets in all your ambient sound. So I had the telly on. I couldn't hear a fucking thing while it was on noise cancelling. Switched the mode to like so I could hear, and it was literally like I was watching TV but also listening to music. I was like, that's fucking amazing. How well that worked. So because if like
so your missus has got no idea if you just ignoring
when my missus comes in normally when I've got my earbuds in, she's talking to me and I'm like I literally can't hear her. But now I'll be like, if I can either make sure I can't hear her or I can make it so that I can hear her. Because it was weird, like how well, like literally from hearing nothing on the TV to just literally, like it was like I can't even describe it. Literally, I could hear the TV perfectly, but also there was music playing in my ears through my headphones. It was cool.
Clever stuff.
You
they have like a hole all the way through, don't they?
Well, it's got a microphone. They've got this all microphone based. Because that's how they do the noise cancelling. Obviously, like the sound's going into a microphone. And it does clever shit to block out, cancel that out, and then obviously it does the opposite to let all the noise in.
I was gonna say, like, give it a year or two, there'll be a hearing aid version of it.
Yeah,
it's like actively boosting the sound that you hear coming through it.
I probably could do with that, to be fair. So yeah, I've only had them a few hours. Pretty impressed though. They do sound. They're pretty hefty. They go quite loud, and the features are good, but the true test will be when I go back to work and I listen to them all night long. Yeah. I do use my earbuds a lot.
Neil.
Yeah, that's because they're my other ones. Even though I only have one in normally at work because I'm just listening to like podcasts. It is difficult to hear other people talking to you when they talk to you. But this was like fucking hell. That's amazing. So hopefully I'll have it on that mode when I'm at work, and I won't have to keep fucking tapping my ear to turn them on and off. Even when I've turned it off, but it's still in my ear. It does obviously block out some of your hearing.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, pretty impressed so far. Whether it's worth that much money, I guess. As long if they last, if the lifetime of them is good, then I think it's worth it for the features.
Are they? Do they like offer a where is my device style?
Oh yeah, I've got all that. Fucking like the case will make noise and all that shit if you tell it if you can't find them and all that stuff on your phone. Yeah,
because that's what I'd be worried about. It's losing the buggers.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Very good.
All right. Anything else, Neil?
Nope.
Okay, I can go next then. Something that hasn't happened at all that I can recall. I sold a set of speakers last week. Yes, I know, shock horror. I had a set of my speakers up for a sale for ages. They're really old speakers, heavy, but they were in good nick. They were good set speakers, but it was just a set. I had to get rid of some speakers. I have to get rid of speakers. I have too many, so I thought those ones could be. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it was just it was a slow burn, that one. Like I say, I put them on for ages. But what was interesting about it was this lady emailed me and said, "Oh, I'm interested in buying them. I'm setting up a stereo system for my husband." Oh, excuse me, dog. Come on, out you go. She said, I'm setting up a stereo system for my husband, and if you don't mind, I'd like to listen to them before we buy them. I'm like, yeah, no problem. Yeah, absolutely, no problem. She said, I'm going to bring my brother because he knows a bit about them. And I was like, okay, yeah, no problem at all. And I was like, okay, so it's for your husband. You're bringing your brother. I mean, the whole male family is getting involved. Don't worry. Like, here's my address. Nothing's going to happen to you. I promise. But yeah, in all joking, she was very friendly and she was very easy to communicate with, and she came when she said she was come. So I already knew that she was going to be a very easy person to deal with. She said, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to bring my brother because he knows about stereo systems. He's going to listen to them for me and just make sure everything's okay." And I'm like, okay, so he's probably like, he's into stereos like I am and whatever. And she turns up and she introduces me to her brother, and she says, "Oh yeah, he's a sound engineer." And I'm like, "Oh my god! All right, here we go." Right. So I had my thing all set up. I had them set up or whatever, ready to go, and I'd already adjusted the bass to bring the bottom end down a bit and whatnot. But I thought, I'm not going to fool. You're not fooling anyone here, right? If he's a sound engineer. But yeah, he liked them. Told her to buy. He actually said, if you don't buy them, I'm going to buy them, right? So, yeah. So they listened to them. She bought them. He put on some music, sort of stuff that I like to listen to, which was pretty neat. So that was good.
Did they bring their own music to listen to?
Yeah. He brought a few records and some CDs and stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Bit of Take That and.
No, the first one he put on.
Bit of Bacharach.
I think it was Steely Dan. He put on as the first one. Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, that's Steely Dan. Yeah, that's cool."
I remember when they were out the first time.
Back in the day.
Not any thrash metal or anything then.
No, I don't know what else he had in his collection, but I didn't see it. No, just the Steely Dan, and yeah. So that was good. So there's something out the door, and then I have that money burning a hole in my pocket. But of course. But I've put it aside. I've put it away out of sight.
For a PS5.
Well, the first few days, it was like it really was burning a hole in my pocket. And I was looking around going, what can I buy? What can I buy? And I nearly went and bought some more decks. And I was like, well, there's no point in buying stuff you already have. And so I've just put the money aside. Just put it aside until there's something that I know. I just don't. There's nothing I need right now. So, yeah, I got sent away from work this week. I had to go up north, which was fine. It was a nice drive up. The weather's been nice. The seasons are, summer's coming in, so there's a lot of green exploding all over the place. It's it's nice, not barren drives like I had the week before. This week was a nice drive up with lots to see in terms of lakes and forest and stuff. So that was pretty cool. But on my way up, I listened to an old episode of ours. I listened to episode 30. And I'm gonna dig back here. Yeah.
What was going on in episode 30?
Episode 30. The standout point. I will say this. The first takeaway I had from this was we definitely were enjoying ourselves. I think we were having a good laugh almost all the way through. So, well, I think all the way through. So, pretty impressed. I was like, oh yeah, okay, we sound as though we're having fun, enjoying ourselves, and that was nice. I realized Dave makes me laugh a lot when I listen to episodes. I just want you to know that, Dave. I don't know. You just do. There are a lot of points where you said stuff and I was cracking up. I was like, oh, yeah, that's quality.
I don't say a lot, but what I say.
Yeah. It's quality, not quantity.
I don't know how to take this.
I'm just trying. Well, you talk a lot, and you get your crack ups there, but your quantity, not quality. And Nuthatch just flying by the window.
Oh,
lovely.
Yeah. So anyway, it was nice to listen to. It was good. I'm trying to think of any standout points. I can't remember now. I think there were definitely some. But that wasn't early
I went
days.
And listened to an old episode the other day, but it was only from January this year.
Oh, okay. Well, it was interesting because I was listening to the Veteran Gamers on my drive back yesterday, and it may even have been Mark, MS Rangers, may have asked the question. Somebody did, I think, said, do you ever listen to your old episodes? And I usually will go back and listen to the episode that we record on the Friday. I sometimes go listen to it on the dog.
Well, you have to listen to a bit of it because you edit it.
Yeah, honestly, I don't listen to too much when I edit it. You'd be surprised to know there's not a lot of editing in.
Mustard Parser apparently was there.
That was it. Yeah. That was the episode. So yeah, it was Dave and Debbie passing the mustard to Debbie Harry. That was just brilliant, right? And then there was as well. You were talking about showing Frank Bruno where the jam was or something like that. It was
was that like episode 30?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
we missed our 4th anniversary. So our 4th anniversary was the start of this month.
Was it really?
Yeah. It's coming up for 5 years next milestone. That's pretty impressive. So, but yeah,
it was just nice VR
to listen.
In episode 30 by the look of it, because I assume none of you were.
I'm not sure I made it as far. I don't know if I made it as far as listening to what we've been playing, but I did listen to a good hour of it, I'm sure. But yeah, it was good. It was nice. Yeah, it was interesting to listen to. And the other thing I've got on here is generator. So behind my house, we have a high school. And then attached to that high school is also a very, I want to say big, but I don't know if it is very big. But there's a school for the deaf as well in the same complex. And it's quite a big complex. And like big complexes, they have they need backup facilities or whatever, and not too far in this corner, because like where they are in this corner closest to us is where their power building is. So they actually have a full building dedicated to facility maintenance and all that sort of thing. And inside that, they have a massive generator. And when the power goes out here, which happens fucking all the time, the power will go out for a couple of minutes because North American power is shit.
Is that the hydro failing?
Hydro failing all over the shop. And then you hear that their generator always kicks in, this big diesel generator, and it's a good size, right? And you can hear it from my house. And then it'll run for a while, and then it'll, the power will come back on and it'll kick off. Anyway, the generator, we had a power cut a week ago, and the generator came on as normal, no big deal. In fact, it's one of those things, like if the power goes out in my house, when the power goes out in your house and you're like, oh, are the street lights off? Has it gone off everywhere else? Or is it just my house, right? Yeah. Well, I have the added luxury. If I hear the generator going, I know it's a problem everywhere, right? So I never have to really look around or phone people or whatever. So the power went out last week, generator kicked on, and that was a week ago, and the generator is still going.
Oh
Like
my
it
God.
hasn't stopped. It's been
Oh,
going for a
wow.
week now.
Is that how you've got power today?
No, like it's got nothing to do with us. It's got, our power came back on straight away, but the generator kept going, and it was the long weekend too, right? So it was, I think the Saturday of the long weekend last week that the generator kicked on. And then I noticed on Tuesday, and I was like, and it was still running a couple of days later. I was like, this isn't right. And then I noticed on Tuesday they had loads of power trucks there, and I was like, okay, so something's definitely wrong. But by Wednesday or I think Tuesday it was still going. I was like, this is crazy. So I phoned them up, and I was like, I'm a local resident. Just a quick question for you about that generator that doesn't seem to be.
They might not be able to hear it. To be fair,
she knew about it. And so yeah, apparently someone cut their feed or whatever. It was roadworks or whatever. So we got put back on, but they didn't. And so their generator's been running for a week. But I tell you what, it is noisy as hell, right? And it's
still going now. Have they sorted it?
Yeah, it's still going now. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's weird, eh?
Think of all those dinosaurs.
They are burning some proper dinosaurs with that diesel generator. Yeah. Yeah. So that comes in because we were talking about generators or diesel engines earlier before the show. We
were watching proper nerd video.
We were watching a big car crusher, weren't we? So
what, on the Discord,
on
YouTube?
the YouTube, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been trying to sort of I've been digging around on generators. That's probably why that came up, because I've been digging around on generators. I was watching cold start generators and things like that, and I'm old military generators. I'm trying to, I don't know, find out about generators for some bizarre reason.
I like the I've watched a few videos and looked into some multi-fuel generators.
Okay.
Where there's like petrol, diesel, like ethanol, like it just like some of these generators just accept anything.
Right.
Any
sort of emergency. Yeah. I would imagine military generators are probably a little bit like that, right? Where they.
Yeah. Some tanks use multi-fuel engines for power for like wherever they are in the world. They can basically just accept any sort of general use diesel, petrol, and various different types of petrol. But yeah, I find it really interesting that these things are engineered and considered.
Oh yeah. I had one job where I was lucky enough to go to I think it was Cummins, who make big diesel engines. I went to their plant where they had test beds with huge engines in. I suppose the reason I'm interested in the generator is that is a big engine in there, right? And there's probably not a bigger engine that I can think of nearby. And I know because I'm listening to it now 24/7. So that's pretty nerdy, but there you go. Dave, you got nothing on your list?
Nothing on my list, no. Did I talk about I bought a AV receiver last week?
No.
Oh, I bought an AV receiver last week.
I thought you were waiting on that. Yeah, you cracked, did you?
I cracked. It hit a price point. So I picked up a Denon X2800.
They're on sale on Richer Sounds again today.
They're on sale on Richer Sounds. There was a sale on last week as well.
Which one is it? The X2800?
X2800 DAB, the DAB radio version one. So yeah, it went down to £610 or £20, something like that. And it was just too cheap. I couldn't refuse. I've had my eye on that specific model for when I move. That's the perfect. I think it's a 7.2 or 7.1. So I've got the speakers. I'm getting the receiver. And
7.2, 8K.
8K.
Yeah, he's going in. He's going all in. He started well with the bargain hunting, and then he's just fallen off a cliff.
Well,
Have you got all the speakers?
No, I haven't got all the speakers. No, but the speakers. I've got the floor standing front.
You've got two speakers out of the 9 that you need.
So, no, I'm only gonna go at the most 5.1.
Wait until he needs his 8K television. That's got to come too.
5 plus the 2 Atmos speakers, obviously.
I'm gonna wait on the Atmos. I'm not desperate to do the Atmos.
I see that they had I had a thing from email from Sonos to say they had 25% off some speakers. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I'm not going the Sonos route. I'm going to go. So I've got my Kef Q750s floor standing. I'm going to go for another Kef for my center, and then I'm going to get some, I don't know, some cheaper bits that I can stick on the surround. And then I'll have a look at the Atmos down the road if I feel I need it. But I'm looking for a sub. And I don't know what to do about the sub.
2 subs.
Yet. I could go 2 subs. I don't need 2 subs. The space isn't big enough.
Yes. Have you got a fucking cinema to fill?
If I had 2 small subs, I could probably get away with it, like 6 or 8 inch ones.
Are they really subs though? If they're only 6 or 8 inch, that's not getting
8 inch is a common sub size.
Yeah. But I was looking at a 10, just a 110 to put in the corner. But yeah, if I went smaller, like proper slimline, maybe I could put 2 in each corner. If I could hide them, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I bought it. I haven't even set it up. I bought it still in the box.
Are you going to get one of those sofa shakers? Have you seen those?
Well, like a D box.
So it sits basically. It's got like a cup, and you put the cup under 1 foot of your, or you can attach them to the back of your sofa. Like they're basically like huge, like the things in your phone that make your phone vibrate, right? Yeah. The same thing, but they're way larger, and they're tied into your subwoofer signal. So every time your subwoofer, every time, all right, and every time your subwoofer kicks in or whatever, it kicks in the motor or whatever to rumble your rumble the sofa. Yep, just like that.
No, that is a technology that is at the cinemas. Well, one of the
sound is definitely richer.
So yeah,
it's basically a rumble pack for your sofa. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that. Is that like a Nintendo 64, but like a bigger version?
They're one of those things. If you fancy trying it, and I do, but I never have. Just go buy one secondhand, because I think it's one of those things. People buy it.
Yeah.
Let somebody else get the initial purchase cost, and you just do the sort of like the secondhand value.
Yeah.
I think there's quite a few of them out there on the market, and there's cheap, and they're not that expensive. I don't think either. If you buy some,
get one with about 50,000 miles on the clock, and you'll be
there. You go. Yeah. like the adult devices.
I was just no. Don't know if you want to buy them secondhand.
So yeah, so I've done that. Yeah, I've done that. Other than that, not really. I'm not gonna talk house stuff. But it's been a very stressful week. I was hoping to have some good news today, which is partly why I'm on very late, but I haven't. I was supposed to do exchange today.
Yeah. So you are going to talk about house stuff then?
So no, that'll be next week. I'll either be happy or extremely pissed off. So
it's bank holiday as well this weekend, isn't it?
Bank holiday this weekend, yeah. I know, 3-day weekend. And then that's it really. It's just been a very boring work and other stressful stuff week.
All right.
Okay, have you looked in the chat?
For what? Twitch?
Yes.
Did you say Dave?
No.
Or anyone?
Anyone.
I haven't. I'm terrible at that. You know that.
Are you talking about the Emma?
Yes.
One. If you could choose any celebrity to get tickled, who would it be? I'd say Justin Bieber, as he's quite arrogant and he'd hate it. Lol. Who would you guys say?
To get tickled.
You have to see them get tickled.
Donald Trump.
Oh wow, that's a good one. Is he a celebrity?
Yep, get him out of here.
He's fired.
Elmo before the scandal.
I don't know anything about this Elmo scandal.
Just tickle me Elmo.
Oh right, yeah.
Who would hate being Jason Momoa? There you go.
All right.
Hmm.
Neil? Go on. Don't
I don't
overthink
know.
this.
You've stolen some good ones.
Who's the bloke who goes around various different countries and just moans about how shit they are?
Donald Trump?
Michael Palin.
Oh, Michael Palin.
Michael Palin? Does he moan about how shit they are?
No.
Oh, when I said I was going to Lanzarote, who did you say went there and said it was shit?
I can't remember this.
Oof, take your pick. I don't know.
Oof. Lord is going in. He says Rolf Harris, but he doubted he'd get much reaction now. Obviously, don't know if you know what he passed away this week.
That's just poking a dead body now.
Anyway, he's definitely off limits.
Neil, did you give us an answer?
No.
You going to?
I can't think of anyone. My brain's gone.
All right.
Sorry.
Thank you, Emma, for that question. It's much appreciated.
I've had too many beers.
Yeah, isn't Justin Bieber? He's having a bit of tough time. Didn't he have some problem
know.
with his face or something recently?
What,
He
did
lives
someone
not
punch
far.
it?
I don't think he
He's
lives
Canadian,
too far
isn't he?
from here. Yeah, he lives not far from here. I don't think.
Not far from
I
here.
think it's like partial paralysis in his face.
What?
Funny enough, I was
You probably wouldn't laugh
reading
then,
about
would he?
No. I was reading about Celine Dion having
She's got health
statue
problems.
syndrome or something.
What? Statue
That's
syndrome?
She's not been well for a long time, I don't think.
She's cancelled her tour. I saw a headline saying that.
Yeah, apparently she's
Canadian.
slowly turned into a statue.
Another Canadian. There you go.
Not doing much for Canadians here.
Oh well. The curse of being a Canadian singer, that is. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, enough of Bieber and Celine Dion, for sure. Let's move on to what we've been playing. Can I call for a quick pee break, if nobody minds?
Yes.
Okay, be back in 2 seconds.
Right, see you shortly. Hello.
All right,
we're back.
We're back on live.
I thought of somebody I'd like to see tickled.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt a bit bad for Jamie Redknapp the other night.
Why?
What happened to?
Because obviously I was watching the football. It was Man United versus Chelsea, and they went at half time. What they do is they go for a break. They go a little bit of spiel after the whistle goes. A little bit of spiel, go for a break, come back. A little bit of chit chat, go for a break, come back. A little bit of chit chat, go for a break, come back. Second half kicks off. So they went for their break, and they come back, and they're all stood on the pitch. Like there's 4 people stood on the pitch. There's Kelly Cates, as she is now known, which is Kenny Dalglish's daughter. She's like the main presenter. And there's Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. I can't remember who else it was.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is still around. Oh, yeah. Awesome.
And Jamie Redknapp. And all you could hear was virtually the entire crowd, I assume other than, I don't know, it was all the Man United fans singing, Jamie Redknapp is a wanker, he's a wanker. That's all you could hear, and they're all laughing. They're all like all big grins on their faces because they could clearly hear it as well. And then like some clever sound person manages to turn the crowd sound down,
noise cancelling,
and then they start their interview while trying not to absolutely wet themselves. But yeah, he took it well. It was quite funny.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to what we've been playing then. Does anybody like to start? Dave. Oh, look what Dave's got on his list.
I know.
I tell you what, let's get. Dave's list is the same as my list. Well, let's start. Why don't we'll go in 1 for 1, and I guess Neil, do you want to start with one of yours, and then we'll.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I finished playing Jedi Survivor last week.
So you haven't finished Jedi Survivor?
No, I finished the game. I finished the story. Okay. So therefore, I was like, I went and played a little bit more, and I was like, nah, I think I'm done. I think I've played enough. 52 hours I've put in, so I think that's enough.
Yeah, that's a good show.
I didn't get everything that you could do, but I finished the main story, and like I say, I poodled around for about an hour, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't need to do this." There's a new game plus mode that unlocks. I was like, "No, nah." 50 hours is good.
Yeah,
and I wasn't bored at any point in those 50 hours. I do like really, really enjoy the lightsaber combat, and I didn't play around with all the different ways, different stances you have available to you. But I was like, nah, I'm not going to spend any more time. I've cancelled my EA Pro subscription.
Oh, wow.
So I paid 15 quid. Paid 15 quid, played Jedi Survivor, and cancelled it. I've done it in a month.
It was something that was going to keep you for another month.
Well, I was looking at it. I was like, shall I? I've got another few. I've got till the 1st of June, basically.
I mean, you said stuff like Dead Space, but let's face it, whatever.
I've never played it though, so I was like, I probably should. And apparently, it's only like 12 hours. I could probably smash that out in a couple of 2 or 3 days.
I'll play Dead Space 2 on Game Pass.
Yeah, but I could play the new Dead Space remake and then play Dead Space 2 because I'd still have access to Dead Space 2 after. Whereas I won't have
I think if you played the Dead Space remake and then went to Dead Space 2, you'd be thoroughly disappointed in Dead Space 2.
I don't know, will I? I think because what they did with the remake is bring in a lot of the mechanics from the later games into the original. So maybe Dead Space 2 doesn't feel that much different to Dead Space remake. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. You'd have to bring in someone who really. I've never thought. I can see why people think it's a good series. It's never really totally floated my boat. I've played a fair amount of them.
Some surprises, like it's a bit survival horror, isn't it? Like you like your Resident
Evil.
The
problem I had with I think Dead Space 1, it was very Resident Evil-y in a way, but I think I hit a point in Dead Space 1 where I just couldn't get through a level, and and it was enough to break me on it. It was just like, I'm done with this. It was just frustrating. It was already hanging by a thread, my interest in the game. Dead Space 2 was, I think Dead Space 2 was solid from what I played of it. I probably played a good 3/4 of the way through. I don't know why I didn't finish it. I think I just got bored, but it was good for sure.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I've got the golf game was the one that was potentially going to keep me around because I do quite like the golf game, but it's on sale on Steam for 30 odd quid. I assume if I don't have EA Play Pro kicking along, it'll be on sale on EA as well because they've got those big sales as well.
Big sales.
But anyway, I'm still talking about Jedi Survivor. So a big step up from the first game. The first game was good. It had quite a few flaws, probably. Mainly being you're not that powerful, Jedi. But Jedi Survivor, you start off and you're, already powerful, and you just become more and more powerful. And there's just there's some big set pieces that are just top tier single player experiences. Several times in the game, just like that. When you just finish doing something, you're like, that was awesome.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, several times that happens in that game. So it's worth having it. Well, it's definitely worth 15 quid to play it from. That's for sure. And get through it within a month.
Yeah, fair enough.
It did have its problems in terms of crashing and stuff like that. So I don't know what it's like on PlayStation and Xbox now, because it's it's not going to go on. Well, it will go on sale because it's EA. So
yeah,
but you will run in like you get to do that, and it's like there's loads of stuff that's in Titanfall. All the cool stuff that's in Titanfall is in this, and you're a Jedi as well on top. So, yeah, Titanfall 2 was awesome, and this is even more awesome. So, because you get to do all this other cool shit. But yeah, it did crash at a quite inopportune moment. There was a big fight I was having, and I'd done it multiple times, and one of those multiple times it fucking crashed, and I was like, "You bastard!" Because I thought it's one of those. I got to through this the first 3 or 4 phases of this boss fight, and I hadn't taken a hit, and I was like, "I am fucking crushing it this time. I'm definitely going to do it." And then the game crashed. I was like, "You bastard!" But yeah,
I found I've had a few games do that to me recently. Like but I'm all right when it happens. I don't know why. I'm usually surprisingly calm when it happens. I think it's because if it's happened at a point where I'm making progress, then it's like I go, well, I was making progress anyway, so I'm going to be all right if I think it's if you lose hours of gameplay, that's the problem, right?
Yeah, literally it was like I'd go straight back into where I was before that fight.
Right.
So there was no big deal in terms of losing.
You're just going to get better at the fight, right?
It's just like, I know what I'm doing now, so I'm just going to go and do it a bit more.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did go back to it. I left it a day, went back to it and smashed it out in a couple of goes. But yeah, like I say, the set pieces, the big boss fights, just great. Awesome. The Star Warsy, the sound, I've said it so many times, but the sound, like the lightsaber sounds cool, but there's all like using the force powers has all this other like real. I imagine if you were playing it on a fucking 7.2.1 surround sound, it would be absolutely awesome because there's loads of heavy bass going on when you're using your force powers and stuff like that. And like I'm only using my headphones, and it's going and all that sort of shit. It's fucking amazing. The sound design is incredible. And yeah, all of the set pieces were banging. And it just, like, it's one of those games, it just got better and better and better as you go towards the end. And when it finishes, you're like, now it's finished. Guys, what am I going to do now? Because that was great. So, gets a big thumbs up, Jedi Survivor.
Yep. Something I would like to dip my toe into at some point. Okay. Dave, which one? You want to pick which one?
Let's go for Hunt.
Okay.
Played some Hunt.
Yeah, we got you in, didn't we? For some games.
Yeah, I got a couple of games. Got a couple of games here. Got a couple of games with Matt.
Now let's just for anybody who's uninitiated or hasn't listened for years. This is your third time buying this game, right?
It's my third time buying this game. First time playing it multiplayer. I played the first like.
This is the first time though you've actually played with any of us, is it not?
Yes. Yeah, I played a couple of games on my own. Just sort of get an idea about what's going on. Although that didn't work at all because as soon as I went in with you guys, like a completely different game emerged. I can see why you guys play it all the time. It's a very in-depth strategy, and then Twitch jumpy walking like shooter. I think I held my own a little bit.
Well, we had a lot of success with you. I mean, we took you out for I think 3 runs.
Yeah,
and we got every one. We got a bounty, didn't we?
We did. About. There was one that we got we were team wiped. Were we team? Or
we definitely got a couple of bounties in a row.
Yeah, we got a couple of bounties in a row. One of the times I team wiped 2 teams, which I was quite proud of. Well, then one of the games I just
Dave was just pinging people.
I ran off in a completely different direction to you guys, and then got instantly murdered, and then spent 10 minutes waiting for you guys to come around and res me. But that was also a very good one because you were showing me lots of different things that I wouldn't have known about, like traps, and there was somebody that was obviously very well versed on how to play, who very high level. And we're basically following him around the map, going, "Oh, this is why he's done this, and this is why this is the direction he's gone."
Yeah, that's the thing about it. I think that's one of the most interesting things about it is, that there is the element of like, are you a good shooter player, right? Because there's the combat side, but there's this whole other massive part of the game, which is the environment and not making noise and clues as to where other people, like your whole survival is based around encountering people before they encounter you, right? Knowing where they are, being able to ambush people or whatnot. And then there's so many little things that happen in the world that you can. I think that's what we were doing, right? We were saying we could spot little things that gave away. Oh, someone's been through here, or there was only one person has been through here, or we know definitely two people have been through here because of there's two things taken from here, or whatever it might be.
And the other thing that I found out is you have guns and you go into the game with guns. You don't shoot the guns. You're not, especially not on the zombies.
Yeah.
Because what I didn't realize is you can practically hear the gunshots across the whole map.
Gunshots will travel across the whole map. Yeah,
and
as
soon as you shoot, the only reason you shoot is a life or death situation. It's either you shoot to either get the drop on someone and you guarantee to kill them, or you're defending yourself. Other than that, like if you're shooting, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. I started a game the other day, and I think someone was waiting to play with me, and I think Arnie was in the chat with me, and I started the game on a solo, and straight away I heard shooting not far from me. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go check that out, because like the player base is made up of people who will avoid shooting and people who will go to shooting.
Right.
And I went up the road, and lo and behold, there's some guy, and he's blasting zombies or whatever like that. So one, he's already made enough noise to attract me to the area, and he's preoccupied doing something else, which means I just put a couple of rounds in him, and then he was dead, right?
Yeah.
And today we had two games. Both games we got team wiped by. We were fighting one team, and a third party came and sandwiched us and killed us, basically.
Yeah. And it's there is that there is a element of I leveled up so much when I was playing with you that when you first start playing, the characters that you play don't die.
You won't lose them, yeah.
No, they you can sort of play another game with the same character. But then I got to level 11 or something like that, and then it was on, because if the character died, which I did have with one, they were lost from my list completely. So then I had to buy new characters if I needed to. So yeah, like I can see the first couple of games it was fine, because there was no actual issues with me dying, or
there was no cost of death.
No. But then as soon as that's kicked in, I was like, oh shit, okay, right now it is getting real.
Yeah.
Because I remember you saying that you were running light because you'd run out of money. I'm guessing you had a number of games where you'd lost characters or equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, actually, we had they've had challenges and quest lines and things like that running, and one of the quest lines was to kill people with a certain type of gun called the Krag, and they are $500 a pop. Well, I mean, you definitely don't make $500 every game unless you're winning, really doing well every game. And so loads of us are broke at the moment, having done those challenges. Luckily, we've all finished it now, I think. So.
So now you can just run in with your pistols and stuff, and
yeah.
But yeah, that it's a real good challenge. I have been meaning to jump back in this week. I played, it was like some at the weekend on can't remember, was it one on Monday or something. But yeah, I am actually between games at the moment, other than the one that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
PC
just going back to what you were saying about when you finally hit level 11 and then now your characters can die. I think you can. I'd be interested in your opinion on this, but I like that because it gives me that finality. There's that price that that PUBG
when you prestige, do you lose?
Hang on a second. Let me just finish. Hang on.
I'm just watching.
Is it relevant?
Oh,
okay,
it's
go
like,
on then.
If you prestige,
yes,
do you get your first 11 levels back again, that you don't lose people, or is that?
No, it's all done. No, because it's that's all. It's only for total noobs. But I like that finality, and that it's not so like that's what I always liked about PUBG, was that finality of, like, there was so much on the line for the game, right? If you died, it was over. That was it, and the game was over. And this has a little bit of that finality. Not
So
quite.
I think the
as
game,
brutal, but
once you're down, you can be sort of brought back
there is a
as long as you're
revive
not
system.
being burnt. If you're dead, you can still be brought back if the person you're with has a token,
As a bounty,
has a bounty.
Yeah.
So there's incremental bits, like you can be, if this, you can be brought back if you're not burnt. If you're burnt, you can be brought back if you've got a bounty. So even if you're down and out in the first couple of minutes, there is still a possibility of you getting back in, like throughout the whole stage of the game. So I think we played some games. Some of the games we played were quite long, probably about half an hour, 40 minutes maybe on some of the longer ones. Some of them, I think we jumped in and we jumped out. We extracted within 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, ran in, got the boss, and ran out again.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're close to a boss, you can get it done and dusted in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Obviously, you guys know all the audio cues of, exactly which boss is in which building. I was running around and go, oh yeah, it's the assassin in this building here. It's like, how do you even know that?
Is there a new boss coming? I saw a video on Twitter that made me think there might be a new boss.
I think there's a rumor going of a new boss. They're talking about a new roaming boss, I think.
Yeah, like a big serpent or something.
Like a gator or something. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, that actually makes sense, because one of your quests, you're saying that you're looking for gator traps.
Yeah.
So funnily enough, I went into a game on my own and I found about 3. I don't know if I got anything for finding them and closing them, so I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. But
I played quite a lot last week, and I think it was one of the days. I can't remember which day it was. I played almost solo all day, and I absolutely loved it. I mean, I've hated solo play. I've always felt, particularly PUBG and Hunt in the early days, I always felt more comfortable playing with someone else, right? Probably because I'm a big fat coward. But solo was just so stressful. I always found it so stressful, and probably because I never thought I was good enough, and or whatever it may be, like to get into fights. Chances are I always felt like I was going to lose on a 1v1.
Right.
But for some reason, I think the MMR system in Hunt is better, and I keep myself generally, because I have a lot of loosey-goosey rounds and loose hunters. My MMR remains low. Shout out to Lloyd, who I think went up to 5 stars this week. But I mean, you start playing in the 5-star with the 5 stars, it's brutal, right?
So it's really very tough. Aggressive, isn't it? Usually,
it's very aggressive, and people are really good. That's the problem, right? The thing about Hunt, if you're not very good at the shooting, and I'm okay at the shooting, depending on whether I'm well rested or whatever. It's not like I'm 20 anymore. But if I'm, usually in the morning, I'm better after a bit of oxygen from dog walking and some sleep. But there's also a ton of elements to Hunt that a solo player can take advantage of, e.g. ambushing or sniping or using the sound cues to, being very careful on the sound cues. I think I think solo, even if you don't really want to play solo, you prefer playing in duos and trios, as a new player, I suggest you go play solo, just from the point of view of it really helps you understand your impact on noise around you. You start to learn distances that you can stay away from zombies or crows, or what's going to make noise, what you can hear. I think it fine tunes your senses to the game, which is worth doing. But
what I found, I played the first couple of games, and I just had the chat on the headset and the audio coming out of the TV on my monitor, and then like you guys, I could hear you guys reacting to sounds directionally,
right.
And I was like, oh, I'm not getting that. So as soon as you said that, I was starting to put it through my headset. The sound cues through the headset was a complete game changer.
It's the whole game is
yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
Right. There's no doubt about it. It is absolute key. And there's only one point. If I absolutely know that there's no one else in the house, then I might play it. And I'm playing solo, then I might play on speakers.
Right.
Because I have a really hefty set of speakers on my desk downstairs. But other than
you
that,
crank it up.
yeah, then you can crank it up because you need to hear stuff. Like you need, and it's really, really odd now. It's taken a while, but generally one of the rules that we have is if you think you heard something, then you probably did.
Right.
You get to a point where your lizard brain just goes, that was something. That was something. That was something. And now I used to sort of like just go, I probably just heard something. And then I get killed. I've played it enough now to know that as soon as I go, I think I heard something, is just to suddenly just be quiet, right? Stop dead, be quiet. Because
somebody's accidentally ran when they should be walking.
Yeah, somebody's done something and they're on their way close to you, and you need to sort of get a bearing on it. Anyway, I'm glad you jumped in and.
Yeah. I'll be picking that up more.
Yeah, well, we'll be playing later. So. All right, Neil.
Okay, I started a couple of other games this week. One of them I haven't played loads of, so I won't talk about it loads, but I will mention it. Came to PS Plus. They have, I think it's is it? No, it can't be the first Tuesday. It came out last Tuesday, I think. Whatever Tuesday that is of the month. They update their PS Plus extra catalogue. And they added one of their exclusive games to the roster, and that being not a new one, but Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart.
Is that the latest one?
It is it's the PS5 exclusive one, so
it's supposed to be all right. That
it looks pretty fucking amazing, I have to say. Visually, very impressive.
Oh, that's the one, isn't that the one where it has different dimensions?
Yes, I've literally just played through the introduction, pretty much. Like it's almost like a tutorial. It's quite an extended tutorial, but yeah. So basically, they're celebrating you as a hero, and then Dr. Nefarious is the big baddie from Ratchet and Clank. He appears, and everyone thinks it's just part of the show. They're doing this big like fucking show, and you're just learning the mechanics of the game. And then your mate Clank has invented the Dimensionator, I think it's called, which is the thing that basically switches through dimensions. And Dr. Nefarious nicks the Dimensionator and goes to a dimension where he always wins, because obviously normally he always loses. Otherwise it wouldn't be a good video game, would it? So I've not unlocked any dimension jumping abilities or anything like that. I've literally played through that area, but absolutely stunning visually, I have to say. Very impressive the way it looks. I'm not a big Ratchet and Clank fan or anything. I've got no history with the game. I played the one that came around the movie time. It was a PS4 game, but I never really got on with it. But it's quite fun. It's quite good.
I think that was a remaster of the original, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't know. I think there was a game because it used cutscenes from the movie, so I think it was a new game.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
But yeah, if you have PS5 and PS Plus, you should check it out because it is. It's
you haven't
cool.
really
it's good
checked
fun.
it out yet. You've still got to
exactly. I'm literally
it.
just at the beginning, so. But yeah, pretty blown away with how it looks for sure, and it's got some fun mechanics to start with. You've got you've got melee attacks and shooting attacks basically, and then you're doing like rail grinding and jumping around and sort of 3D platforming. So
yeah, well, standard fare.
But it's very early days so far.
Okay.
If you've got something you want to look at and go, wow, that looks nice, it definitely hits that spot for sure. But yeah, that is that.
That's Ratchet and Clank. All right. What's this Planet of Lana? Is that a big one?
So that's the one I've played the most this week after finishing Jedi Survivor. That's hit Game Pass this week.
I saw that. I was quite interested.
And I played the demo a few months ago. I did talk about that. That was when I was on the Veteran Games that week, whenever that was.
Oh, yeah. When you were... Oh, Jay was on Veteran Gamers this week. Yes. Did you hear that? Yeah.
I did.
Nice of him to do a podcast this year.
So, Planet of Lana. If I might as well carry on talk about it. It is a 2D side-scrolling puzzle platformer in the vein of like Inside/Limbo, but it's full of beautiful colours instead of those games being very grim and dark. But yeah, so the backdrops, the backgrounds, like do you know what I mean by parallax scrolling? I know you probably do, but people, do they know what I mean by parallax? Where like you've got several planes of 2D images, and like the ones near you obviously move faster, and the ones in the background move a bit slower to generate this sort of 3D depth. But the ones in the far background, it's sort of like a Bob Ross painting or something. It's real, like, I don't know, like painted look to the backgrounds. And then the nearer stuff is like obviously like a bit sort of 3D, trees waving around and just like lots of green, real lush, vibrant colours. So yeah, you're in this world, a beautiful world that gets invaded by aliens. The aliens come and basically capture all of your family and friends. You're in like it's like a mini Waterworld village.
Oh, do you have to go save them?
It's all like wood built, like wooden, like platforms everywhere. And I haven't seen Waterworld, but it's like, there's water everywhere, and then there's like wooden buildings. I was like, that's a bit Waterworld from what I saw from the trailers. Anyway, and yeah, so everyone gets captured by all these aliens. They these are like super. The contrast is you're in this beautiful, like naturally made, everything's made from wood, and these aliens come along and they're all like super metal-y looking things. And they take everyone away in like cages, and you're the only person left. You somehow escape. You and your mate are running through the village to start with, and you see her. I think it's a her. She gets captured. I can't remember what name is. Elo, something like that. I don't know if it's a real language. I don't think it's a real language. It's kind of sort of sound. But the language is like a nonsense language, I think. It certainly doesn't make any sense to me, put it that way. And then obviously you are left to try and find your people, I guess, in this largely just puzzles that you're doing. And then occasionally the puzzles involve avoiding said aliens, which are basically like robot-y type things. There's the ones that I've met, several times. They're like mechanical robot-y spider-looking things, spindly little legs and a big like robot sort of body. And they obviously you have to basically pull them out of their sort of, they go in like a loop of whatever they're doing, and you need to pull them out of their loop so that you can get past them to get onto the next little puzzle. Is what usually happens when you come to like one of the alien encounters. So far, anyway. You may be able to do something to destroy said alien by doing something in the environment to like crush them with a big pile of logs or something like that.
Ewok style-y.
Yeah, something like that. But so there is just you to start with in the video game. In that, once all the people have been things, but you do find like a little cat monkey type thing to help you. This is early. It's all fucking early. So that's what happens at the beginning of the game. So this is your like, there's you that can jump around and swim, and then you as your companion. Are you
saying that the companion can go do something else?
The companion can jump higher. Exactly. It's smaller, goes through little gaps, can jump higher. But you need to literally give it commands. It doesn't do anything on its own. You have to command it what to do. You can tell it to stop. and you can tell it to come follow you, or
Monkey
you can
cat.
point to a place within a certain radius of where you are to tell it to go and stand somewhere. It might be able to cut a rope, drop a rope for you so you can climb up somewhere. But yeah, it's quite cool so far. I think it says on how long to beat on Xbox app. It only takes 4 hours. I haven't played it for 4 hours yet, so I don't know how much longer I've got left. It's not a super long game, but it is really, really nice looking, and it's pretty chill.
Is it on the console?
It's on the Xbox and on PC.
Cool.
But yeah, so I will finish it because it's not pissing me off, basically. So it's all right, and it's like I say, it's really, really good looking, and it's pretty chill vibes, nice music, and quite relaxing on the whole so far. And it's just like makes your brain work a little bit. You might get how am I going to get around this environment? But like, there's a lot of running in between the puzzles. It feels like when you're not really doing anything. But yeah, it's cool. So check it out.
I always laugh when people say "on the whole" from Austin Powers. Was it
I don't
Preparation
know
H?
That.
He's always feels good on the whole. Okay, let's move on then to our mate Zelda.
Which Zelda have you been playing?
Yeah, actually, has it the same Zelda? Today I've got Zelda. I've been playing more Tears of the Kingdom. Dave, you've got Zelda. Have you been playing Tears of the Kingdom?
I have. Funnily enough.
All right.
It's good.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I just keep seeing videos on Twitter of people doing the most amazing bullshit.
I have just going to tell you right now, I have not seen any of that. I have still done full media blackout. The only thing I have is my son coming up to me every night and going, "I've just done this," and I go, "Will you stop telling me what's coming up in the game?" So I understand all that is out there, but yeah. So what's your experience like so far?
So experience is okay. So I started playing it on the handheld actual Switch version. That's not great. If you can not play Zelda on a handheld and play it on the TV, it's a much better experience.
Do you have a Pro controller?
No, I don't. No.
Oh, you don't? No. Oh, mate, the Pro controller is brilliant.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I reckon it's one of the best controllers that there is.
It's not got analog triggers though, has it? That's the only thing I don't like about it.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think the game takes advantage of the analog.
No, but you can use you can use it on a PC. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
The Switch Pro,
okay.
But obviously it hasn't got analog controllers, so you don't get that function.
So, but yeah, no, I've only, to be honest, I haven't put a huge amount of time into it. I've nearly got to the second shrine. So I've done the first one. I've made a few hooks.
How do you know it's the second one? I thought you could just go wherever you wanted.
Well,
so
your
second one might not be everybody's second one.
Yeah, it might not be the second one. You do the first one. Everyone does the first one, and then you see 2 more from there, and then I'm on my way to the second one. So the first shrine I got to.
They tell you have to do those, though, right? If I remember correctly, she says you have to do these.
Yeah, you look at these, and then you add a pin, and then you go to these, and you do these. So like the first 3 is pretty much mandatory. But the first one, you learn the ability to move specific objects in the world and attach them to each other to navigate some of the platforming systems. So I've made a few hook log
this is not the weapon one. This is Ultra Hand.
This is not the weapon. This is Ultra Hand. Yeah. So I've done that. And
do you have to complete the shrine to get that ability? Because that's how it kind of worked, isn't it?
You can't get out of the shrine without it.
Yeah. You
need that. Yeah, they work it so that you have to use the ability to get out of the shrine.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like Breath of the Wild. You had those abilities, didn't you? Like it was like you could level.
So it's the same sort of premise. It's no different.
All of those old ones have gone, haven't they? You don't have any of those now.
Well, in the opening credits, you lose all your health. Yeah. Like you are the character at the end of the Breath of the Wild, and then you lose all your health and all your abilities, and you get a broken what's it called?
Sword.
Tri-sword? Yeah.
Master sword?
Master sword, that's it. You get a broken one of them. And so you basically you start
Get
again.
used to that.
Yeah, broken weapons. Yes, I found that out. So yeah, I've made some boats with some sails. I've made some hooks with logs attached and surfed a few random poles through the land. It's I'm not 100% with the with how they're sort of attaching things to each other. I think there's one, or I feel I'm missing one sort of movement within like changing how something attached to each other, but I think I have to move laterally. You have basically a horizontal way of moving an item, or a rotational, so X and a Z, and it's like you're missing the Y-axis of changing. I don't know. It wasn't hugely.
Yeah, you're missing a button press there.
Yeah.
Not sure which one it might be. For me, it's on the right shoulder.
So there's something I'm missing. I've had a look and yeah, I've not played it like massively, and it hasn't really impacted what I've been doing anyway. But yeah, it seems really interesting. My daughter's been playing it as well. She's probably played it a bit longer than me. She's not a massive platformer. She's never played a Zelda, but she's been huge into this. This is why I haven't played it so much, because she's been playing it. And yeah, she loves it. She's like picking up all the. She's got to like third or fourth. Like she's done all 3 shrines, and she's just navigating throughout the world, and yeah, the same as you, Fraser. She's like, oh, have you done it? It's like, no, I haven't had a chance to play because you're playing it. Get off my Switch.
So you sharing a game, the version, like one. You've only bought it once. You haven't spent like 150 quid to get it.
No. We've got 3 profiles on our Switch, and annoyingly, she started it on my profile, and then so I've got to play on her. It's like, because you can't.
What?
It's like, why did you do that? It's like, I don't know. It was already signed in.
Yeah, we just went for it.
Bloody
Blindly just
children.
ran in.
You need a pin, mate. You need a pin.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, you can change mine. And I was like, no, I need to learn.
Oh, what have I done? Oh, I appear to have deleted your save. Sorry. You have to start again on your own profile.
So no, I couldn't do that to her. And to be honest, I quite like the fact that she's enjoying it. So yeah, it's a good game for me. I don't know how far you've got through, Fraser.
I played quite a lot last week. I think I went up into the sky and I was running around this did I talk about trying to get across this massive bunch of stuff in the sky?
You were doing something in the McLaren. And then I suddenly
yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. I got to keep my faith. It doesn't matter. I've been playing Zelda games for a long time, and I need to keep the faith. Like if the game has put you somewhere, it's very rare that it puts you in a situation that you can't get out of with things you have on hand or the means you have on hand. And there's been a couple of times where I've been like, I'm like, oh, I guess that's totally out of reach or whatever. I'm not going to be able to do that. And then I just go away and I have a break and I come back and I kick myself. I'm like, there's just such a simple answer of something that's in your backpack or arsenal of abilities to use and get through it. That you sort of you bang your hand against your hand against your head, and like, I can't believe I didn't see that the first time. But I think that just demonstrates how many different ways there are to approach this game. Like, I'm sure there's masses of areas in this game where people have approached it from numerous angles and done different things. And
hey, if you've not seen any of the videos, some of the stuff I've seen, it's just like, man.
Yeah, and I think that's it, right? I haven't even scratched the surface. All I'm trying to do is get through the game. So I'm being very sort of like, as linear as possible, even though that's proves very difficult at times. One, because you just you just go wandering. But two, even if you're trying to head towards something, you can't head. I mean, the map is massive.
Yeah.
Like, it is shocking how I had one point. I had to start trekking towards this next point that they'd given me, and I was on my way for ages. And I was like, I must be getting there by now. And I couldn't believe how long it was taking me to get there and how far it was. But the problem is, you'll be on your way to go there, and you just see, oh, there's something over there I should go have a look at. And then you go over there, and next thing you know, you're all involved in something else, right, for another few hours. It's just brilliant. Yeah, there's so much to it. I haven't played much this week because of reasons, but I would imagine that tomorrow morning I will get a good few hours in on that game. I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah, no complaints here from me. I still love it. My son is still playing tons of it. Yeah, it's brilliant. Really good. There will be more to talk about, no doubt. And I don't want to talk too much. Spoil it.
Have you played through? You've played through Breath of the Wild, I know. But Dave, have you played Breath of the Wild through?
Nope. Oh, I nearly picked it up first, and I was like, it's the same price. At least to download from Nintendo Switch online.
Oh, you buy it on digital, did you?
Yeah. I did. Indeed.
So my Switch is plugged, my Switch. My son's Switch is plugged into the back TV down the back room, and it just never gets turned on. Every time I go out there to do my quests on the Xbox, I look at it and go, could just buy Zelda, couldn't I? But I wasn't very impressed with how it looked on my TV. Like, the last time I opened the Switch and it was on my big 4K TV. I was like, that looks a bit shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're. I think if you're going in there with that sort of expectation, or if that's a big portion, well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I played through Wind Waker, a year or so ago, and that looked shonky. That was like 264K, right? No, what it is, not 264K. That's not right. But
260p.
260p or 360p or whatever it was. And I started playing it, and it was like, this looks awful. But it didn't take long for my brain to just not be overly concerned with that and become like, the Zelda itself has so much to it that if the graphics are putting you off, like, graphics are almost immaterial in the Zelda game, right? It's the.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about immaterial. It's like, it's definitely got I like the look of it, and it looks good when it's on a small screen.
Right, but if you're going to sit there and go, well, I'm killing people, but I can't see the dust on the table.
I'm not that fussed about that. It's not that. It's like, it looks a bit weird because it's not like I don't know what signal it's sending. Like, my Xbox One looks okay, despite obviously that's not sending a 4K signal, but it looks okay.
Is it upscaling or something?
Yeah, it's doing something weird on the Switch that just looks a bit weird, like washed out.
Well, I can't help you with that, mate. Go get a shitty TV like us.
Yeah.
But I think, again, so what Zelda does, Dave, it's the same with the Marios. It demonstrates. It really is one of those things that helps you see when you play other games. You're like, oh shit, right? This is what Zelda does right. It shows you what other games do wrong. They just can't. Like, they nail everything they need to nail. Everything. It just works. It's just so polished. It's so polished.
Yeah, it's clever in that it makes you work out things yourself, and you feel clever about doing that. But it does it in such a way that it'd be hard not to work out in that way.
Yeah.
So it does a psychology of, like, you need to figure this out, but it puts it in it does it in such a way that you can figure it out quite easily, and then it makes you feel good for figuring it out in the way that it did. So it's quite clever in how it handles user progression and working out the how you sort of navigate around and use the powers. One thing I didn't realize about Zelda is there's a lot more I don't know, manga inspired I remember from my previous examples of playing Zelda was, I think the other one, the last game that I played on was N64.
Is that Ocarina of Time?
Ocarina of Time, but it's gone quite Japanese manga style storytelling. There's a lot of cutscenes that is straight out of anime, like story, like how the story is spoken.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly there's the opening bits where they're talking about, like, usually.
How much did you skip at the beginning of this game, Fraser?
Oh, that's all right. I'll just stop talking.
I didn't skip anything. I like.
There was a lot of story, and we were watching the last week when I was watching the video that I was playing. It was loads of like you weren't doing anything. It was just literally playing out a video for fucking ages.
So that's what I'm on about. Is that there was a lot of story. I don't know what you've got through, Fraser. Does it continue?
No, I think it just at the start. I mean, that's what it is. I think almost all the Zeldas do that, right? Or the recent, certainly the last few years is they have an introduction where you start off and like Link wakes up wherever he wakes up, and there's sort of something going on with the story, and then it dives into the lore. Then they'll have a point where they sort of say, well, this is what's happening in the world, because every Zelda has sort of like basically the same stuff. You've got Link's got to come in and sort everything out. The princess has gone missing, or something's happening with the princess, and the bad guy is ultimately Ganondorf or some other form of Ganondorf, right? And to me, they're very much like Metal Gear Solids. You could try and have a handle on all the lore if you want, and probably I just cannot be bothered with it all. But I still have an affiliation with the main characters that they give you. And I think Metal Gear Solid is sort of very similar. You could sort of like get lost in the lore. It's even worse, actually. It's way worse. But they generally always have the same sort of bad, characters or whatever that.
So was there a time when you did watch all the story shit then? When you were younger?
What, for Zelda?
All these games that you like. Because, like, I'm not being funny, Metal Gear, when it got to like 3 and 4, it was fucking loads of cutscenes.
Metal Gear is just a different ball game altogether. Like, if you are dedicated to, if you're somebody who like, I never skip a cutscene or whatever, and you haven't played Metal Gears, I'd be interested to see if you could go through something like Metal Gear Solid 4 and not skip a cutscene. Because like, there are literally cutscenes in that which last 20, 30 minutes. Literally 20 or 30 minutes.
Did you watch all of those?
No chance. I ain't got time for that. Too busy, man. That's a lot.
But don't you miss like loads of the stuff that's actually going on if you don't watch all that shit?
Yeah, not really. There's so much going on in those anyway. Did you ever play Metal Gear 4?
No, I didn't have it. It was on PS3.
That game is just so much bonkers shit. I mean, you could just ignore all the cutscenes in that game, and there's still tons of bonkers items. And you feel like you've still watched a movie that you don't understand or have any idea what's going on.
Well, maybe if you watch the rest of it, you might understand it. I don't know.
I honestly no. I would say you were probably right for every other video game in existence, but not for those ones. You could watch all the cutscenes.
What about Zelda?
Zelda, yeah. I mean, you can understand Zelda, yeah. Zelda's all right. But you can't skip the cutscenes in Zelda.
Oh, right. So you have watched the cutscenes in all of the Zeldas.
Yeah, but they don't overdo it, right? That's the thing.
I don't know. That was a long one. The fucking first, like the big, like when you're walking around with Zelda at the beginning of this game. I was like, this is taking fucking ages.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any actual gameplay.
Yeah, but I think something that can take a couple of minutes or whatever can feel like ages. I mean, generally it probably did, and I bet you I tried to press B a couple of times to try and get through it, right? I know on some of the cutscenes I have tried to cut to fast forward, and it does let you skip some stuff actually in the shrines. Like when you're entering a shrine, there's sort of an animation that happens. You can skip past that, and when you are victorious in the shrine, then it has the people turn up and they say, here's the light thing and all this sort of stuff.
I did hear someone, that the one complaint that I have heard is that there's a lot of, like, when you're going into shrines and stuff, you have to like skip just to fucking get, it's like, why am I fucking going through the same animation over and over and over and over again?
It's not that
doing
bad.
That sort of stuff, but
it's not that bad. It's, you could not skip them and it would add another sort of 30 seconds or a minute onto your shrine thing, which is ultimately nothing. I mean, there's a lot of gameplay in this. A lot of
It's
gameplay.
all about the gameplay, by the sound.
Yeah, now we're talking about it. I know where I last played because it's been a few days, and I'm looking forward to getting stuck in. I'm about to go into something I'm looking forward to. So, yeah, go get it.
So have you
Neil.
been playing with the mechanics though? Have you been playing with all the fucking crazy shit?
Not. I haven't been tinkering just for the sake of it. No, I'm totally.
See, I feel like if I got, so I'd get so far, get this ability, and I'd just be doing like with Valheim. I'd end up doing the Valheim thing and just fucking around for hours, playing with the mechanics, and not actually getting anywhere.
Maybe that's the case. It's not such a bad thing. Maybe that's the beauty of it. If that's what you want to do, then go ahead. Right? I'm just at the moment I'm trying to route one it, just try and get to the end game. That's I think that's going to be enough for me. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm pretty sure I ended up putting close to 200 hours into Breath of the Wild.
Wow.
I'm sure that it was close to that. Because just going around the world was just great. There's so much to see and do, and so we shall see.
That's why you've not been online hunt so much this week.
No, I've been away.
With the Switch?
No. Oh no, I won't. No, I won't play handheld. No.
But they don't have TVs in hotels in Canada.
I didn't stay in a hotel. I stayed with my uncle, so there was nothing like I was busy with.
You actually talk to people.
So, yeah,
social.
Talk to a lot of people. A lot of people. 2 or 3 days of a lot of talking to people. And now I'm talking to you a lot. Yeah.
And now you're done for a week.
And listening to people on my driving. But yeah, okay. So that's Zelda. That's good. I think we'll be playing more of that. We'll listen to what Neil thinks of it next week once he's bought it.
I'm not paying 70 quid. That's for sure.
Yeah, you are. Get in there. Come on. Join us.
No, I've got other things to do.
Like what?
You got to play Dead Space.
Ugh. Come on. Jump in the Zelda bandwagon. Buy the physical copy so at least you can just flip it.
Well, I can buy that from Shop2 for about 40 quid, I think. 40 odd quid.
Oh, there you go. All right. Well, if that's if everyone's good, then let's call that a show. Yet another one.
Yes.
Far cry from episode 30, that's for sure.
Was it?
It's about the same. I think we still enjoy each other's company.
Bollocks,
it is, isn't it? It's all right then. It's all good. Okay. Well, I've got a dog that needs to get walked. I've got kids that need to get fed.
Oh, are you looking after everyone tonight, are you?
Again. Yep.
£49.85.
And then I got to go to the airport. Then I got to go to the airport. Pick up Chipper Spice. She's coming in for the weekend. And ask her why. I don't think she had a very good week this week.
On the fantasy football?
No,
probably not.
Well, say hello.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's been a pleasure as always.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave, do you want to do your bit?
Oh, I forgot.
Oh.
Still enthusiastic after all these years.
I have a purpose. Thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask us questions and get involved, please contact us either on Twitter at Seal Podcast, email us sealpodcast@gmail.com, or join us on a Discord server. A link is pinned on Twitter. We have YouTube and Twitch channels which you upload and stream to. Neil, shout out for chat.
Excuse me, just burping. So we have Chill Robots, Emma 19988, Lord Baron von Glauer, and Andy Cox. It's that's Andy Cox. Thank you for popping along and giving us some shit or what have you.
Did it?
Yep.
That is it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Then until next time.
See you soon.
We'll catch you later.
Cheers,
Bye.
guys. Bye.
Bye.